Hey, good morning. Good morning, guys.
Morning, guys. How you guys doing today? It's a beautiful morning. To you guys, it's New Year's.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, guys. To us, it's the day after the New Year.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Everything relatively starts back to normal today. The only difference is there's still no school. But other than that,
Yep.
magandang umaga, masanding habak, mayang buntag sa tanan. Good morning to you all. Or good evening in case of the ones in the West. You know what I'm saying?
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Ted. Good morning.
Morning, Ted.
I suppose that was my responsibility to.
Swan be happy. Thumbs up. Hey, Swan be happy. Diego says a pervy tax. I
All right.
believe he's
So,
talking about the subject in question.
yeah. Okay. So, or I'm just going to.
MB, hello, Philippine Antics Squad. Ted says, hello, beautiful people. Happy New Year, people.
Good morning. So.
Ted, and for those of you who have been like the old OG original generation of Philippine Antics, Scott's World just got engaged to a Filipina.
Congratulations.
Congratulations so much. Congratulations, Scott, and congratulations, Isa.
Yeah, I was like, they're really, they look happy, and
Yes,
he looks like
and
he's happy.
yes, definitely, and they look good together. I mean, you know how couples like, they come to you and you're like, yeah, no, not them, them. You're like, oh, that kind of reaction. Yeah. He's down there right now, spending time with her and her family, which is a good thing. He's experiencing the um I guess that would be what everybody wants. Right now he's on the beachside property and he's living the life, guys. So
Okay, and I want to send a heartfelt um, prayers for families in New Orleans based on the tragedy that's happened there, and that's definitely one of the reasons why we're here. Is due to the incidents that keeps happening, including the school inside attacks and other things that happen. Things are just increasingly becoming more crazier in the US, and then you add in the cost and keeping up with the Joneses. So I just want to say that is an absolute tragedy what happened there. And it's so yeah.
no, it is. Again,
And George called something out today, and I was like,
we
"Oh
can't say that. We
snap!
can't say that.
We can't go into some
We can't say
theories."
that.
I already know that. I'm just letting you
Yeah.
know I have my own theories about what's being said by the government already.
No,
And
it sadly it's not really. It's one of those saw it coming.
do you think they went as far as to set the whole thing up?
Kidding me?
Oh wow! Right here, hold on a minute. Here, one second. Here, I can't say it.
Anyway,
We need to get into this. Today we're going to cover a guy that's probably close to 3 times the age of a woman that he met online. As I'm to understand, it was Filipina Cupid, and it's a show that's on Raffy Tulfo, and it's it's another and talk about tragedy. It's another guy that got scammed by a Filipina. And the reason we're really talking about this today, besides we just like talking about this stuff, is that they did in July enacted a new law based on what's happening. And even the Filipino himself that was on the show, one of his regulars, said that it's getting so bad and prominent in the Philippines. And he says just not Filipinas. Like there are people that are scamming at, like they'll go on to the dating sites and it could be people from Malaysia and whatever pretending to be Filipinas. And people acting like Filipinas have been doing this to the foreigners. So the dating sites are getting more and more dangerous, and we'll let you listen to what's going on, react, have you guys comment. I don't know if you want to open the panel. I know we keep saying that we will, depends on time frame that we have, but it's kind of crazy. But the guy lost an amount of money in a short period of time, but I don't know what he was thinking either. So I know that she's 24, I think he's 74 or 64. He's still 40 years older than her. He wants her to quit her nursing job, and then he believes her family scamming. So this will be down to, did she really do it? Was it a husband or boyfriend that had her do it? Did the family force her into doing this? So that's what's going on today. So there's all kinds of things that are being insinuated by him, but there is a new law that's in effect. But I told George, I said, isn't there already something you're already doing? And of course there is. I guess they put something official on paper. But that's really hard to trace that
they've always been something on paper.
Well, that's really hard because he's saying that even if they trace it down to a guy, well, we'll talk about it here in a minute. Even if they trace it down to the guy, it could have been, I mean, so let's get through that and then I'll tell you my theories. I don't want to tell the full thing before we actually show it. So
welcome to the program. First and foremost, I would just like to establish how you met or how you got in touch with this certain Julia.
She was on a dating site, and then I responded, and then she sent me her WhatsApp, and that started it.
Just so the people watching this would be aware that
dating site, yeah, I think later, because this is actually chopped up. So I believe they said it was Filipina Cupid, which I believe, what's the name of it? Do you know what the other one is in the US? It's the same company. I forgot what it is. OK Cupid is the one in the US. So what happens if you're on OK Cupid in the United States, it then translates into Filipina Cupid when you start looking in this area. So, yeah. Why does he look
Okay, now one of your
Why does he look like Grumpy Cat?
okay, he
It's 'cause he
mentioned
ain't had
WhatsApp. Okay.
Yes.
Now the modus operandi of most scammers, I'm going to tell you
these
right
certain
now.
people are on those.
The most common MO of scammers, when you're, it doesn't matter whether you're on Tinder in the US or anywhere else in the world, the first thing they do when you make contact with them, like for example, you get a match or liked or something, whatever, depending on the app you're using. Oh, you got a match, right? And then what's your first reaction? It's like, okay, well, I guess I'll message you. Hey, how are you doing? And then they were like, oh, I'm good. Hi, hello. Hey there, good looking. Do you have a WhatsApp? Red flag. Big, giant red flag.
Well, he met her on the app, but yes, with
No,
WhatsApp
I know
app,
that
they do it a lot. Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Or how about the ones during the big C where they'd say, I enjoyed that steak last week and blah blah blah, and they want you to respond, hey, that wasn't me, but remember the steak thing? You would get them on your phone in Mexico. I would get the odd ones where they'll bring up a subject and pretend they know you or something, and then you're supposed to interact by saying something else. So yeah, there's different levels. Of course, you guys are.
Yeah, but if their first response is, "Do you have a WhatsApp?" That's one of their major red flags. Because first off,
They can just give a SIM card to me. That doesn't mean anything.
no, I know that. Well, what I'm saying, okay, it doesn't have to be WhatsApp.
They just use it a lot.
But what I'm saying is, again, if they want to get off the whatever you're using, whether it's Tinder or whatever. If they want to get off it on the first message, that's your first red flag, because that means they're really not serious about dating somebody. They're up to something.
Okay, stupid. Victor said, yeah, that's probably about right.
Dating sites or dating applications.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just for awareness sake. But anyway, so you chatted consistently with this Julia Siva. Have you ever met her or at least video
No,
called
sir.
with her?
No, sir.
No.
Well, just a brief audio one time, and that was it.
Okay, and it was only once
Yes.
throughout a
Audio.
span of time which lasted for how many months?
Maybe more than a month.
More than a month.
Okay, hold up. Hold up, swole up. A month. He knew her for a month, and in the end, the amount of money he sent to her and sent it all at once was 228,000 pesos, which is a substantial amount in this country. Okay. But it was $4,000. And let me tell
Yeah,
you
I was
what,
gonna say,
I wouldn't
that's
give George
that's-
$100 right now
that's
over any
That's
situation.
substantial too, and even in the U.S.
Yeah, 4,000. Yeah. I mean, that's, even if he's getting 2 pensions and like a basic social security, that's still almost everything for the month. So it is. And I'm assuming he has savings. But here's the thing. What's his MO? And he's going to say it here in a little bit. He's looking for a little traveling partner. And it's, you're just buying her at that point.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, when you hear what he gave the money up for,
I got you. But here's the thing, guys.
you can't buy love, man.
Voice is not enough because, well, I'm going to tell you right now, I can be a girl right now if I really wanted to. On
Oh
on
yeah,
the
you
voice
can change.
changer.
Yeah, with the voice changer, you
fact,
can do AI now
AI is so advanced now. I can be a girl now if I
on
want
video.
to.
So she got
On live video, correct. And that means I put air quotes on she was on the cheap, like Heidi says.
I'm gonna get my chapstick because
that,
that's about right. I'm already talking smack about George.
I mean, what I'm saying is, do I know of software that can make you look like a girl, that kind of stuff? That actual software. Now, I'm not talking about TikTok, but talking about TikTok. TikTok, you guys have seen it. I'm sure you guys have seen, whether your granddaughter or your wife or whatever, they show you this TikTok, it turns you to a girl, right? Well, guess what? That exists on other video formats.
Oh, and that's old school. That was years ago.
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
so advanced. So
exactly.
Deal is, guys, if somebody named Georgina comes through and says their mama needs an operation,
give them
just send
money.
me the money direct.
Give them the money.
All right.
Show me the money.
And Georgina,
show me the money.
You're fired for the 3rd time, and your delayment that you got going on, fired.
And in that time of less than 2 months, you have already sent her 228,000 pesos.
So
Just at the end, yes.
Just at the end. Okay. Purportedly for what was the 228,000 pesos?
The mother had a check that was about to bounce the next day, and she needed the funding to pay her supplier for her store.
Her supplier.
Dun, dun. Next on the Philippines, Heidi and George Court. Dun, dun, dun. I needed money to pay for my donut supplier.
I have a supplier that's been supplying those mini donuts. I need 100,000
donuts and blue pills. Ooh, there's a song.
And yeah,
I haven't even gotten to the
100,000 pesos because I haven't even
gotten to the
pay my
staring
supplier those mini donuts.
I haven't even gotten to the staring baby and wet spot, hot spot song yet. Let alone the supplier of donuts and blue pills.
Yeah, Nickelback says, I have no pity for the fools.
I mean, here's the thing.
I have no pity for the fools.
And I want to let you guys know, I don't hate every expat that's out here, or a lot of people, she hates because we're getting along and because she can't and this and that. No, I've been seeing some really happy couples with large age gap relationships, and I'm like, they look really happy. They're getting along. This is happening. But sometimes I just got to call that bullshit out. I can't help it. This dude was looking for a nurse to travel with him. He's evidently up there in age. You can't sit there at that age and deny that you need somebody to help with stuff. He wanted a companion to show off. He wanted some arm candy, and he got taken. And the fact that he went through this whole entire thing, it's another one of those things like Mark Thornton. I don't feel sorry for you.
Whoa.
Sorry, it's
fired.
one shots fired my butt. Sorry. I really appreciate those people that have stepped up and said, hey, this is going on with this person and that person. And it's about a conversation. And what I'm saying is that when I see this guy, he seems a little snide about the whole thing. Well, I told her mother about that. I can't have somebody like that in school. And so it's coming up in a minute.
In Mark Thornton's defense. I'm telling you right now.
Mark, it's not about this old.
I understand that.
Oh, snap. I almost called him
but
a
in
cracker.
Mark Thornton's defense, even Mark wouldn't have done sending out money like that.
We don't know that. There's other things.
Oh, no. I'm sure he wouldn't.
All I know is
right, Mark.
We all get the 8 ball. Get the 8 ball. Because if you get the 8 ball, we could talk to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know who else looked like an 8 ball the other day? His wife at the funeral.
Oh damn.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into that right now. We're in the crop top and the funeral. Maybe we'll talk about that later.
Just mentioned it.
Did I? Okay, later. We're talking about this cracker right here. He looks like a Florida cracker.
Don't wear that. Just saying. Anyway.
Ooh,
especially if you're a guy. Well, actually, never mind. If you're a guy, I guess you're accepted.
Didn't that one guy, not Joe Dirt? Who's that rock singer? Kid Rock. I call him Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt.
Didn't he do a Florida cracker or a cracker song?
Yeah, and he wears mid-ribs.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So
he does. He does. I mean, he's a rapper. Just saying. Anyway.
All right. It's gonna be a damn good show.
It's gonna be a damn good show.
It happens a lot that they had to invent the law. I say DD 214, and a lot of people think these other vloggers. You got the vloggers that are just copying and never seen it, never talked to anybody where it's happened. And I get people putting out content. There was stuff. Then when I first got here, I was just covering content. I had talked to some people. I know these things exist, but officially, we're talking to more and more people where this is happening. It happens everywhere in the world, but somehow Southeast Asia, it's really happening. It happens over there in Nigeria. What it is realize. Bite me on this one. It's still a third world country. It's still a developing country for all of those, what do you call those sissy babies that are out there? What do you call those people?
SJWs.
Is that Jesus what?
Social justice warriors.
Either way, it's still a developing country, if that's what you want to call it. I'm going to let you all know that's hoping for a developing country that you guys will in another 25 years be able to see nuclear power to bring down your electric bill to $486 a month. Nuclear. So, but it's because of the money thing. And here's the thing, you guys should know what it's like for the money. The guys spend money when they get here as expats, and then after they're here for a few years, they realize what the wages are. You can't make the money back. You guys didn't, this and that. And you realize that there's just no money to be made here in the Philippines. So the women are severely thirsty. We're not talking about like severely thirsty. We're talking about like they've already went across the Sahara Desert 10 times thirsty. We're not talking about, other types of thirsty. So the whole point is this girl, she, here's another one of those that just be honest with yourself at that point.
What girl?
Yeah, okay. So that's another thing. I don't think it's a girl. So we'll see her. You guys seen her, but he makes reference to, I swear he's taking a hint here in a minute. He'll say, you do realize I think it's a lady.
Yes, always me. Save the expats, or rather hashtag save the expats. I like that a lot.
I'm just gonna that's what the other channel we developed, Lazy American Expat. I'm about ready to throw a bunch of old dudes under the bus.
Save the expats.
I don't care. I'm old, this cranky, and crackerfied.
This one too.
There's a new. I'm crackerfied. I'm cracking everywhere. My brain, my body, my skin.
I guess that's legal. I mean,
I'm a Florida crackerfied. All right, let's get on to this cracker.
What would happen to her?
Right. She's probably aware that writing an unfunded check here in the Philippines is a criminal act.
I don't think that's what you're worried about.
Under our criminal laws, that's already punishable. So that's probably what she told you to give you that sense of urgency to give that money.
I'm sure that's the reason she.
How did you send this money to Julia?
It wasn't. I thought it was Western Union, but it's
Okay.
another company on the bottom
yeah.
there. They have all those companies
Red
listed.
flag number
Oh
19.
yeah.
And apparently those are the
Get
ones.
your mouth on the mic.
Okay, so I have this document here. It's a proof of send out. That means that the company has received and then the receiver has withdrawn the money. But the receiver's name is not Julia Siva. It's actually a certain Christopher
Right,
Lee
right.
Balat.
Go ahead, babe.
He is
I know
the
you got something
brother
to say.
to the mother. He is.
Bum. Dun, dun.
All right.
This innocent guy here that just was looking for love because he was. Oh, wait a minute. Is that me again?
Yes, that's you again.
All right. Hey, I like that echoing. I wonder how that happened. I didn't even touch the tablet. It did that. Okay. So anyways, he's this innocent guy just looking for love, just innocently got scammed because that's just where it was, you know.
Well, he's got an explanation. Let's listen to his explanation.
Also, I have a side theory here in the end. The guy needs to take responsibility because he says he loves her. He admits that he did all this and he did send the money thinking he was getting something. So I don't know where the other people can get in trouble at this point. Whether they manipulate, there might be some
there's something
manipulation going.
called, again, even in the U.S., called palabra de honor, which translates to, again, that's Spanish, by the way, which translates to word of honor. What I'm saying is,
yeah, so he
if you
probably
buy a car from a guy and you pay him in advance, you know, by honor, he's supposed to give you the title and everything else. But some people don't do that.
Yeah. So I myself would not even allow the dude in the studio. I'd have been peeping out there, and it's like, because they get in line. Like a lot of these, they don't even set up. They're like, who's that guy out there? Oh no, he gave it to her, man, willingly. He thought he was getting him something. Babe, I mean, they don't spot this stuff a mile away.
Well, I mean, when he sends,
I mean, I know it's content.
when he sends that kind of money, I mean, he starts smelling the fish. He doesn't realize that smell is his bank account rotting. But anyway.
Well, but you don't think like others that don't tell the truth. I bet he made that offer. And if you ever need something, honey, I'll give it to you.
No, I get that, but that's really not the point. What I'm saying is you can't victimize the victim. In the end, really, the person who's taking the money is the one that's bad. Because I wouldn't do that to anybody. Yeah. And honestly, regardless of what you guys think, Heidi would never do that to somebody either.
And real quick, Maggie, sorry, it's a show. We've been doing it. If you don't like it, scat. So they're talking about stop cutting George off. So it's what we've done, and it's not going to change. We've discussed there are times he's even done it to me, but you all don't say nothing when he does it to me. I get the patient thing, but he knows the deal. I know the deal. Our regulars know the deal. So you're just being trollish by trying to throw one up that I'm a hero, but on the other hand, don't cut. No, I'm just letting you know that's a straight statement. So
that's interesting.
It's not going to change. So
anyway, okay, let's continue with the clip.
Yeah.
Is the supplier to the mother for her business.
Okay. Aside from this, what we do have is chat logs from WhatsApp showing that she genuinely started making a relationship with you, right? Mm-hmm. You referred to yourselves to each other under a pet name, I would assume.
Sure.
Yeah. You were saying I love you already. She was at least saying I love you already. And
I was too.
Yes, and you were too. So she really tried to get your trust and affection before finally asking you for that check to fund whatever her mother wrote.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
her mother wanted to pay this debt the next day.
Yes.
Only at the last minute. Julie was enrolled in nursing school.
Okay.
Second year starting soon, apparently.
Yeah.
And then she was not going to let her get out of school. Mm-hmm. And then she finally reconciled to the fact that she would let her quit school, because my lifestyle is not waiting all day long for someone to go from school. I'm retired and I wanted someone to be a companion.
Okay, now that's somewhat kind of contradictory what he says, just so you guys know. First off, he says, according to her, that she's in the second year of nursing school. Now, that's the part where you said that he's looking for somebody to what?
Oh snap! I didn't even correlate that in between my ears this morning. Yeah, that's right. He is looking for a nurse. I did say that earlier, didn't I? So without really thinking about it, you're right. He knew that. But here in a little minute, or if he just didn't say it, um, he actually doesn't really want her to do any of the nursing or possibly even complete school to be with him. So yeah, there it
Hey,
is.
I can't blame the guy. I mean, built-in housewife/nurse.
Yeah.
And
Water
travel
buffalo
with me.
surgery.
That's right. So, like I said a while ago, first we have to ascertain whether or not Julia is a real person. But before we get to that,
See,
That's true, and that's sad in this day and age. I'm like, they really got good at that during the pandemic.
yeah, whether it's a real person, let's ascertain. According to the lawyer here, just keep in mind he's a lawyer. He's not some real. He's not a kind of guy.
Yeah, somebody's real somewhere. I bet the daughter exists. I bet you the family could have pushed her into the stuff.
The
Could be.
lawyer says if it's a real person.
Usually, what you will find, and is the truth. It's the entire family doing this type of operation. Usually, there is a daughter. It's kind of a group effort because in the end, they will say this person that the money was sent to was also a family member. Could be her real boyfriend. Could really be the brother. But the money was for the Sorry Sorry store. Who supplied the stuff to the Sorry Sorry store? It's either, I think they said a cousin
I'm
or
not
a
gonna
brother. It seems to
tell
be
you guys
group.
my theories only because we're only halfway through the clip. So.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all right. So
that I just like to explain that we just passed a new law here in the
Hey, Mark.
Philippines called the Anti-Financial Account Scamming Act, because these incidents tend to happen a lot. I'm actually ashamed to say that a lot of Filipinos, or at least persons pretending to be Filipinos, have victimized people in the past that required us to pass a certain law that
There it
punishes the
is.
receiver of the money. So first off, I would like to ask.
So they did pass an act, I believe. I just had it here. It's I just had it a minute ago. So anyways, the act was just passed in July. You guys, the link is, I believe, currently in the description along with the full video to this to go watch Raffy Tulfo in action. And they're saying it got that bad. I'm surprised they didn't start this up. I've been in the country for 4 years. I'm surprised they didn't do this the first year in the pandemic. Not only did they get really good at this with the online and really not working because nobody was allowed to leave the Philippines for those that are new, or because some people just decided to go to the Philippines. We had the longest lockdown. How long were we in that pattern? We were the last country to fully open up without the mask. We came in wearing masks and face plates. It was crazy. And
Face
then
shields,
for the
yes.
first year, we couldn't even go anywhere. If you were a certain age, you had to stay at home. That put a lot of expats not allowed to even leave the house. And there was a lot going on. But in saying that, two things happened. A big baby boom in vloggers. Okay. No matter what they covered, they were covering each other. It was just amazing. And these scams that are going on. So it produced two things. So I'm surprised they didn't do something sooner. The NBI has been in place for quite some time, but I think they're starting to take it more serious. But I know, and we all know, that politically, I think it's just another act to,
Right, I believe
just
this
to look like
falls
they're
into
doing something.
cybercrime division.
Yeah. So, but as far as really, it's really hard to pinpoint these people. We've seen the Nigerian ones. We've seen several great channels that hunt these people down. Like, there are ones that call the call centers and they can break into their stuff and mess with them, delete their files. But the whole thing is in the end, it's really hard to tell. This could be a call center and they could have took these photos off of Facebook. There's so many possibilities to what this really could be.
Well,
That could just be another person in the call center.
I
and
don't
she
think
could have told.
I don't think it's a call center.
Well, there are small ones. There's some
No, I
with
know
like
that.
20. They're
The
or
reason
sitting
why I
in
say that
a
is
cafe,
because it's only been once
kind of like that
that
Bitcoin.
that he heard the voice. That's why I don't think it is.
It could be many things, but for the next person, it actually can be. So, and by the way, Mark, I just seen his comment a minute ago. I get my affections from my new dog, not George. So,
There you go.
and Mark said, when I give for the pleasure of giving, not for buying affection from anything else. No, George bought me a dog to give me affection because he won't give me affection. So,
Right, and just real quick,
better kisses too.
that's a good point. Most of the time, a person looking for love is just looking for attention and love. That's all they want. Now, to the new people here in our group, just so you guys know, again, when this person you're contacting is asking for load or their phone's going to get disconnected because they don't have enough load, that's the verbiage they use. That's a scam. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay, guys? For those new guys out there that have never, that are new to this, just letting you know.
Anyways,
If you are willing to
Same
file the proper
person.
cases against this Christopher Lee Balatbat,
Yes,
the
indeed.
receiver, yeah, because right now that's the definite trail that we have.
Yes.
Prior to ascertaining whether or not Julia is in fact a real person. What we know is that Christopher Lee S. Balatbat is a real person, right? If you look through the pictures, it seems that her face and her hair changes a lot. Have you noticed?
There it
No,
is.
I guess I hadn't let myself go there.
So,
I haven't let
again,
myself go there.
he's the lawyer again is like, nudge, nudge, hint, hint. You know that this is probably not a real person over and over.
I think that was a big hint that could be a boy.
Well,
I never let myself
it's a
go
big
there.
hint. It's a guy, yes, that's using somebody else's, not just one somebody, several girls.
Oh, okay. So in other words, the
He's
guy.
saying, wait a minute, why does this girl keep changing looks?
Oh, that's
Doesn't look
right.
like the
She
same
does look
person.
like doesn't. So okay. So basically, it is a guy that probably did it.
Yeah, because that download pictures on Facebook.
Okay. So real quick, I just want to.
Or mentally.
Yeah, I completely understand your remote. Apparently, the NBI agent that we called is operating a site wherein Filipinos, men, are using the site to do the same thing that was done to you.
Keep in mind, again, he's nudging here. Keep in mind that Filipino men are doing things that they're doing to you. Keyword, Filipino men. He's like, dude, that's a guy scamming you. That he's already saying it right off the bat. He's not even pretending here. Oh, thank you so much, FX Trader. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you,
Thank
FX Trader.
you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So we have this guy again, like nudging. He's like, this Filipino man.
Oh.
So it's very timely that you came to our program right now so we can endorse your case so it'll roll faster. So they can involve your case already in an ongoing investigation to crack down on these schemes.
Good.
Secondary is that, of course, we will try to retrieve whatever you sent to Mr. Balatbat, Christopher Balatbat. It's around $4,000, if I'm correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
4,000 USD.
Which is a
yes.
sizable amount.
And I could be totally wrong, but I don't think she's complicit in this. I think she is being forced to do all of this by her mother and uncle.
Most likely, a lot of
Like I said, this whole thing could be made up now that I think about it. I thought it was a lady boy with just different looks. I didn't myself pay attention. They're not possibly the same person.
No, it's probably this. Okay, the girl on your screen is probably innocent. This is probably just a stolen photo. Fact.
Yeah. The audio can be changed now for sure.
Yeah. So
There are inexpensive programs that will totally, for $20 a month, give you somebody you wouldn't even think. There's just no way they use it for call centers now, and it's beyond just not a fake Indian accent. You're talking most of the time in America to these accents, to the change voices.
yeah.
So.
Now, bless his heart, and I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, bless this guy's heart, because even to this extreme, they already got scammed. He's already on Raffy Tulfo. He's saying that he thinks that this girl, not necessarily this
I
girl,
don't feel sorry.
but that she was coerced by her family to pull the scam per se.
I don't feel sorry. And
Filipinos are
will slap you.
actually economically desperate that they decide to participate in these schemes, not totally willingly, but forced by their circumstances to
Oh,
do
sure.
it. Yeah.
I understand.
So first, we have to crack down on the person who actually received your money.
Sure.
And the NBI is more than willing to file that money muling case. By money muling, it's receiving money for a criminal purpose, willingly or unwillingly, as long as you let somebody use your account for a purpose you are not aware of, and then later out it turns out to be a criminal activity. For example, in your case, it will be swindling. It will be swindling somebody out of their money. The person actually receiving it already has criminal liability. That way, if he's pressured with that criminal case, we can get him to agree to disclose.
Okay, so just so you guys know, if there's one thing I know about the Philippines, is there's a saying that we always say, "May sabit ka." It means, if you directly translate, it means, "Did you get hung?" If you translate it, what it means in the U.S., it means, "Are you involved in any way, manner, or form?" That's the difference between languages. Again, in ours it's just one word, but in the US it's a lot. But anyway, point being is, if you heard the lawyer, he says whoever received the money, whether they're aware or not, intentional or intentional, that's a criminal act. And what I'm saying is, you guys have to watch out. And what I'm saying is, it's, for example, if somebody borrows your car or anything like that, if they take your car and do something criminal, may sabit ka. Again, you're involved. And you can eventually go down for it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things you guys have to watch out for. So, money muling act, it means, again, if, for example, one of my friends comes up to me and is like, "Hey, can you receive this money? I lost my ID. I can't, get my credentials. So can you get it for me?" That's like a red flag.
Who are these people who are using his accounts? And who are these people who actually received the money from him? That way we have a clearer trail. Our trail gets longer, and we can finally find out who received and who is holding your money. But again, just for the sake of expediency, our team will accompany you to the NBI. We have already talked to the agent there. Currently, they are just operating, so there might be a little wait, but they will definitely include your case in this investigation already.
Great. Yeah.
Hey, Texas Filipino, how you doing, man? Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Texas Filipino. So I guess you're in the Philippines right now at this second.
Yeah.
Because Texas Filipino flies back and forth from the Philippines to the U.S.
No, he's been busy with the
So judging
resort
from
and
the 500 pesos, he's here right now. He says, if you love me, I send you millions.
if
There
you
you
say
go.
you love me, I
If
will
you
send
say you
you
love me,
millions.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most definitely.
that's a lot of load. Just saying.
If she was indeed kidnapped,
Yeah.
in my mind's eye,
Yeah.
I call it kidnapping.
Yes.
If she was taken by, she's 26.
She's
not a
forcefully
kid,
taken against
and her
her
mother insinuated she has mental problems.
Mhm.
An excuse to pack her up and leave with her.
Right.
And enroll her in school somewhere else. The mother didn't say she was moving. She said the uncle is taking the
was
daughter
taking her.
there.
Yeah. And it
Well,
most
that could have
likely will
been
be
a
against her
later
will.
story.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would assume so. I could be totally fooled. on
Otherwise, they wouldn't have taken her phone.
it. Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, she'd still have the phone.
I'll make sure that the NBI also gets that aspect of the case.
Oh, go ahead. I think it's almost done.
If there's any possibility that we can look into it, there's a possible human trafficking or kidnapping thing going on here, where she is being used for the purpose of attracting people and then giving her money. We'll make sure that that gets covered also.
Sure, because it would be a shame to put her picture out there and insinuate that she is
Complicit
part of it when
to
she's just
everything.
a victim of
Right.
it.
That's what I'm saying. We put out those pictures there so that anybody who knows her can get in touch with us.
Sure, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so, guys, do yourself a favor. Go message Texas Filipino and tell him you love him, and he will add you personally to his bank account. Yeah, well, that's what he told Second Win. Says, I will add you to my bank account. Yeah, and Nickelback says, Tater says, you can't fix stupid. And there you go.
Well, there's several things, but I'm sure they're at that office or they know there could be something else going on. When I first seen it, the first thing that I'm thinking is that family could be involved. At first, I thought it was possibly a ladyboy situation, but the more you think about it and the money was sent to a male, there are the scammers where their boyfriends or husbands are the ones receiving the money. But now it just makes me wonder, is it really just somebody else that took a photo? It could be all the above.
Okay.
So
I don't
pinpointing it,
think the girl exists because one, if the girl exists, that guy who received the cash would be the husband or boyfriend. First off, I'm just letting you guys know if she existed. Now, the reason why I say if she existed is because if she hasn't done video chats, and again, remember, even video chats can be faked. If she hasn't done video chats at all and only did one audio, then odds are she was never real in the first place. And tell you right that now. That's the attorney guy again is, without saying it directly. Well, actually, he kind of did. He says, he kept repeating himself. If she exists, I don't think she exists. What do you guys think? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he thinks he's smelling fish. He's smelling hot dogs, bro. Smells like hot dogs. Smells like hot dogs.
well, his desperation really shows 100%.
Oh, that's another thing. Okay.
I mean,
People can smell desperation even through the phone.
Yep. And so the fact he said that in less than a month or two, I could see if you're getting a little bang bang action, and then you might say it. I mean, but actually to not even be in her presence at all and not even see her physically.
I mean, Magic
video.
Uzi is one thing, you know what I'm saying? But at
He never even
least,
seen a video.
even
At
if
least
you
he had
get
a visual.
suckered with Magic Uzi, at least you could say something like, man, that's one expensive Uzi versus like simping. Again, you're like, what's the difference? Simping is when there's nothing.
Okay, so give me your on-air opinion. So what do you really think of the guy right now?
No, that's a major simp.
Okay, I was going to ask you, how do you feel off camera? Because sometimes George is like, because there for a minute I thought you were turning on air and stuff like, I feel
No, that's a major simp. Don't be a major simp. Okay, what's the difference? Again, if
a couple $1,000,
if he dipped his
that's the
wick
difference.
in it, then it's not. She's not a simp. It's just really expensive Uzi. You know what I'm saying?
And that's not you by far. So I was sitting there thinking about that. I'm like, there was a whole different level even after you whatever, and I wasn't going to get an I love you out of you. And so what I'm saying is, even in long-term relationships where people have even lived together, some of the I love yous have not come along.
Right.
Even living together.
Right.
So yeah. So
Yeah, no.
you're like a tough nut to crack all the way around. This guy is, get his number, babe. Get your wig out.
Right. I don't need a wig. I just need a voice changer, and then I'll just call him up.
Hello.
I should call Raffy Tulfo. Oh, I'm her. Let me talk to him.
Right. Here's your guy right here.
I try to get
Go
back on chat. See
through
what
the
you guys are talking about. Good
Bye.
morning, Tony Manning. Good morning, everybody. I'm
Haven't even looked back.
still hungover, right? There you go.
Tony. I haven't
Hey,
even.
Tony.
Yeah.
Hey, Curse around. Good morning. Happy New Year. Oh, so it's New Year, right? Oh my God. There you have these little thoughts. Little thoughts is a little trumpet that go. It's
They're
like
still
it's like a
using
really
that.
annoying call that everybody like blows, and then you
Yeah,
have
least-
some major big guy brings out big giant what?
I don't know, but I don't get. Well, first off, I'm going to tell you, government officials are the worst offenders in this country, any country actually. But why he took 3 oversized speakers and literally put them outside?
Pointing
The party
out-
was in the
Pointing
house,
out his house.
right? So the party was in the house and inside the compound because he has an oversized compound with his family, and then he puts 3 huge speakers taller than George on the outside of the gates that close, like he was providing music for the entire neighborhood. And it was so loud, it was vibrating so bad in this house, the animals were literally
Okay.
turning. It was really bad.
I hate to say it.
It's okay, I don't mind.
I have to give him props. Just saying.
Why is that? Because the speakers were bigger than you and he could afford them?
It's not the size of the speakers. It's the size of the amp.
You seen the poor animals. That was really bad.
No,
I mean,
got
I get it. That was
I
my,
got it.
and I get that it's a holiday and a lot of people, oh, Heidi, you're just complaining because of, no, I'll let you know.
No,
when I
you'll
complain.
complain too if you
It was
have big giant
bad.
speakers pointed at your house. Just saying. I mean,
And it was,
Yeah.
it wasn't the revving of the motorcycles. We couldn't let Willie in because he's still finishing up his medicine. He was still sick to what, like a day ago. Now he's starting to bark, and I can't let him in the house with the other indoor pets. And I wanted to let him in. He hid and he's been sleeping in the e-trike. And I know it was so loud that I have been to concerts, really loud rock concerts that were not even half as loud. I mean, I would have. So
no,
they're
like I
out
said, you
there
have to give him props.
2-3 times between
That's
the
some serious power
fireworks,
there.
all the karaokeing, and it felt like an indoor concert by far.
No, it hurts, and I mean,
And
literally,
poor Willie
it
out
hurts your
there.
ears.
So it's no, and I just couldn't get. And he was the biggest offender that made most of the noise that night. So it was like, and I was like, well, maybe I'm just getting old, but it's fun overall. If I was in my 20s, I just don't know how they handle it. I guess it's I don't know, but a lot of people,
Deal with it, as they say.
pretty much. So yeah, that's a puppy doodles.
Yes, the Kirk says, Happy New Year from San Francisco. Joseph Keppert says, good morning from Tacloban City. Louis says, Happy Jolly New Year, George and Heidi.
And we want to do a big shout out to our people that are viewing on Facebook and our other channel. So we are streaming live from
multi-channels.
Lazy American Expat
Who's
Philippines.
that?
That's me. I'm gonna be about as lazy as I can. I ain't gonna sit there talking about we traveling and this and that. You're gonna see me in a lounge chair at the mall, actually watching a movie. I'm gonna do the same retirement that the average people actually do. I'm gonna show you what's going on here. I'm gonna show you when you're sleeping. A lot of that stuff. So instead of making it just a pet channel or like we were going to do the restaurant channel, I'm going to be speaking to the people and doing stuff when you're working. I'm getting tired of you working and me just sitting here like, I'd really like to sit there and talk to somebody. So that's what it's about. It's my new communication channel.
Yeah, if you guys want to see Heidi eat a whole donut in one gulp.
Could be Lazy American.
Sadly, all the donuts are gone. I ate them all.
I was just going to say, you need to be truthful. Who's been eating them?
Oh, I just threw the box. It's right there. But anyway,
No, that donut sat there for 2 days, and he's like, "Are you gonna eat?" I said, "No." I said, "Go ahead and eat it." It's like,
so when Jello, well, actually, he says hello. Antics peeps. Hey, Victor, how you doing? Happy New Year, 2025. Right? I know, another year.
See,
Larry says, "Happy New Year to you both." What is that?
that's a espresso.
Does it suck my ick? If it doesn't suck my ick, I don't want it.
Who would?
All right, exactly. DD214. Good morning, guys. I bet you that expat would on the video.
But he probably would. They like the pretty boys.
There you go.
Pretty boys walk like this.
So here's Violet again with hashtag free jungle man space cowboy.
Yeah.
Victor C. Thank you so much, Victor. Everyone says, I haven't seen you guys since last year. Right? Right. I
It
know.
seemed like a long time.
I know. I think I forgot what Heidi was mentioning. I says, we'll do it next year. And then she had to think about it for a second. Like,
and then you said something. I said, it is next year.
yeah,
it is next year.
Yeah.
And on the other note, guys, don't forget about those that are ACRI card holders and permanent
Annual
resident
report.
status. You need to do the annual report for 60 days. I did put that content
It's
on
really
the other
difficult.
channel.
It's really hard.
Inside of the description or somewhere at the bottom of Philippine Antics, it mentions the channels. It used to be the pet channel, so it still should be listed in there now with the new name. But I'll be doing the expat help videos like I did originally and just placing them there because this channel, guys, has actually become a mostly live streams and us talking about other expats and things to do, not to do, us and our comedy and all that. And we're still going to put Ricky videos on here and you're still going to see some, but that's what we're doing. A lot of the expat couples have multi-channels. I feel odd when George is working doing one just on here, which I can, but why not? So that's what we're doing. And so anyways, the video is on there and I did sit down and do the online report and it'll break down all of that. So who does and doesn't. Basically, the basic part is if you're just a tourist here with an ACR card, even if you've been here for a few years, you don't have to register. So it's although I did prove that while I was just under the tourist status, it showed where they did charge me when I went inside. So it's like it's weird. You're going to get charged for it.
Sneaky.
You're right, sneaky. But that's in Angel City. I want to let you know. Somebody was talking about the banking too. It wasn't Geechee. Somebody said that they were able to open up 2 bank accounts and buy government bonds here in the Philippines that regularly foreigners wouldn't be able to buy. But yet, when he went to go open up the one for a direct time deposit for Social Security, that's when they asked him for a bunch of the ACR card. And I'm like, no, it's not that easy as a foreigner. There are requirements. Each bank makes that decision. And that's usually the first requirement is a permanent residency ACR card.
Be careful of, again, whatever you heard, what people disseminate on YouTube.
And it does. I mean, it can change. I'm not saying there may be an out there bank where he had a ton of money and went in and he bought his way in, but it's not normal.
Bank that, again, guys, there's banks.
Yeah, there is a Mabalacat bank here nearby.
Yeah, there's banks and there's banks. What I'm saying here in the Philippines, there's real banks. I call them real banks because they give you a debit card and all that kind of stuff. And there's banks that just you go
all
there.
Of them get the bank books.
You have to get a bank book. They can't even if you force them, take their the whole staff's hostage. They can't provide you a debit card. I'm just saying, they don't do that because they're just a little bank.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things here, and remember, it does change because a lot of people have said, "Hey, you didn't have the right information."
No, it was probably a little bank.
The United States, but there's a generalized, like the U.S. There is a basic thing, like everybody's going to need an ID and a Social Security card. And a lot of people say, "Hey, I was in Texas and I, did it without in this area and this," and it's like, okay, but there's a base. There's a base, so you're going to need that to do it. But I know with the direct deposit of Social Security, when you open the account here, it's going to be bank books. So in other words, you're not getting a debit card with it. You have to manually
Yeah,
go
for
in
your
any of the banks.
social security deposit, you need a pass. They call it a passbook.
Now
Yes.
you can go, okay, Geechee Lion, we've known for a little bit. He told me that he took the time at PNB, which is the one bank that is in the US, only in certain locations. So you would have to be, he's in Chicago. I believe there's one in Chicago,
Philippine National Bank.
Los Angeles. There's a couple different branches. So if you open up the account before you leave, okay, then you can do the direct deposit while you're there. Then you're just good to go. And supposedly they do issue you a card there, then that's something totally different. But where he said he hasn't had any issues when he got here, others have told me direct that they have had issues. It's two different entities. The bank there in the US and the accounts and the way it's all set up and access, they're claiming it was different. And then Geechee says he's been good. So, Geechee's been here, so he would actually know that. But not everybody can set up the account because you would have to go in there. You'd have to go to those areas to do it. But if you can, I would recommend it and keep at least one bank in the US. I just couldn't see, doing the transfers. Then they recommended to do, what is the one that does the free service fees? I forgot which one that was, but there's quite a few that do what I did. So it was just a decision I made. So looks like you're going to eat a marshmallow there.
Max says, my favorite YouTube couple. Thanks for another live stream.
Hey, Max.
Timothy Rogers says, good morning from Columbus, Ohio.
Tony further down. The
Yeah.
whole time
The
he
Watch
was
Wally. Good morning from UK. What? What's
Tony. I always pick on Tony. He says the whole time he was sending her the money, he was using Rosie Palm and those ugly stepsisters. He didn't even have a photo. I mean, yeah, I guess he did have a photo. He just didn't have any visual.
Well, I was just going to show you what he looks like. See, okay. You know what the problem with this picture? Remember, this is a Raffy Tulfo show. You know what the problem is with this picture?
They chose the crustiest guy and the one that looked like he got really scammed. There's probably about another 100 of them out there they could have chose.
No.
That he just looked like content.
No.
That he's extra dry.
There.
Yeah, I guess.
Usually, when the person exists, he's there. This is
That's
one
true.
of those
Most of those that we
cases
cover, and we'll probably cover in a few of
that
these a month.
he's not there.
Yeah, most of them are there. So it's more than likely it was just this guy.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think they knew that, but
They
still
knew
brought
that.
it.
The fact, again, she isn't there.
Like everybody online, including us and anybody else doing YouTube, it's about the content. Some of them are a little egotistical. Some of them are narcissistic when they do the channels, and or others just do it. Like the only reason they do it is because that's just what they do. And so in a case like him, they're very strategic on who they let in. It's for numbers, it's for money.
Okay, that's another thing.
And for us,
Raffy Tulfo is a show, guys. They're really not there for. They're not there for that guy. They're there for the views.
Now, for us, we said we get X amount of money. We do enjoy being close with Google and how our channel's grown. And I told George the other day, it's not free therapy. It lets me talk with you guys about what's going on to the Philippines. You guys, I've learned things from our own guests. We were talking about that the other day. And when you get here and you're in a full retirement, it's kind of like it, it's actually fun. A lot of YouTubers that are here doing YouTube, it's fun. So it like kind of helps with the boredom, and it actually breaks up my day of scrubbing George's laundry and making his 3 meals and feeding him and all that. Yeah.
Well,
and the other things that I fold.
I love Heidi. She always fixes me like spaghetti because I love spaghetti. And then she puts it on this trough, and the trough has it's like a necklace. It's over there. I can't get it right now. It's a trough with a necklace.
Well, if you would ever stop
and I wear
working
it around my neck
while he's doing his gaming
the
channel.
The trough is right here, and I go.
That's true. Here's the thing. For the last, at least, what's it been closer? Hey, how long has it been that you've been actually working separately? About a year now. So between your gaming and channel and your actual job, so he's been really busy. So it's like he's like, yeah, you need to find something to do. And I said, I am. He said, find something else. I said, I can iron your clothes again, sir.
Yeah.
It is true. So, but yeah, it says, for the most part. But for Rafi, I'm telling you, that man's banking like all get out from all things. And he's an actual senator getting paid at the same time.
Yeah.
I caught, there was something that was on YouTube, or was it Facebook, or was both actually. He gave out $100 to what they said an African American woman in the United States the last time he was there, and I'm like, and he was just taking these photos like it was like like uh, anyways, it's just kind of odd, some of the charity photos I've seen. Like Pelco. There's going to be, by the way, for those that are in the Mabalaka area, which some of you guys watching can be, there's a 12-hour power outage tomorrow. So just warning, heads up. A lot of power outages. It's voluntary and involuntary at the same time. But they gave out rice and some gift bags, like with some rice and food to the settlement that's a couple things over. They're all Aidas, and they're just posing with these kids.
They call it Ayuda.
It's called Malawat or something. I can't which one. So, but anyways, it's just weird when people pose like that with people.
Yeah, it's called actually that's what they.
That's
did.
where they had that basketball game.
Yeah. Black Grandpa says his heart and his wallet might be gone now, but his brain was the first to go. Oh, dang.
Yeah,
Dang. Second one says the Trump Tower is crapping over Vegas today.
Yeah.
Harry Walsh says just watch the reason. Oh, this is a little left field there, Harry.
That whole situation is really
Yeah,
majorly political.
the breakup. Maya Geo, me thinks there's much more to the story besides we just decided we're not meant for. Well, yeah, I mean, of course, I'm sure there's
Well,
more.
here's the thing. I seen something on another channel. I thought they were just discussing the breakup. I think I don't want to mention who the other people are because of other people that were on there, but I thought that was fake. So there is an official video where they sat down in front of people and really got raw about what happened. Remember, I showed you that video this morning. So there is a video out there. Interesting. No, because we've been asked to cover that, and I might do that on the other channel when George is working later today. So keep an eye out, guys, because George won't be around to stop this train.
Black Grandma says the sad thing about New Orleans strategy is, it's just the first of many more mass. Oh, yeah. No. Okay, actually, Black Grandpa, theoretically, they should be. Well, that should be. I foresee 2 more additional major ones before they actually do something about it. Anyway, learning to live. Hello, everyone.
God, why can't we just say these things? Why can't we have like a full conversation about it? Because I guess it's too political, and it's not what our channel.
Correct.
It's too political. And here's the thing: it's the one thing you don't do here. You don't get so deep into the politics that really exist. Because I was telling George, I'd much rather deal with the Philippine government than the U.S. government when it comes to things. Babe, the U.S. has got a lot of dark stuff going on right now.
Well, every country has its own
Every
little
country
secrets.
does, but for the most part here, it doesn't take you to be a millionaire to pay somebody off or to get out of stuff. Here, there are official government people that it doesn't take a whole lot to move them, or to at least leave you alone and go to the next door. So there's something really, that whole situation will produce 2 or 3 more things so they can make another move politically. And it's not, just listen to the Kennedy guy that just appeared. He's letting you know that he plans to make a move to say things about stuff as soon as they get through all of it. And it's just not good. So, but in the meanwhile, there are casualties.
The thing about the Kennedys is they're the Kennedys. I'm just saying, if you guys know the Kennedys' history, especially with the government.
Yeah, so it's kind of like here. You just have to, beware. But there's so much going on, and I wish we could tell you. Believe me, George has about 10 other theories about any topic that we cover. He just won't say. I will. I may say stupid stuff. I may be loud about it. I leak
I'm
part of it out.
I'm
He
more up to
lets
date
it.
than most people realize. They may
Yeah,
see
he
me
just
like
doesn't say.
like I'm kind of like the guys who's meet like, yo, what's up, dude? But in reality, I'm really deep.
He is. And so I think that's what causes our banter or, the whole thing. Like when I have to talk over him, because if I don't say what I got to say on the spot, like George says, I forget it. So he understands and I don't mean to, but there's so much to process. And George is very good at breaking it down. But on the other hand, he's very reserved on saying it. And I just told him, I said, I wish they would just totally open up YouTube all the way where you could just about say anything. But unfortunately, we just won't say other things, But
Yeah,
I don't mind saying anything about the crop top that Jen wore to, the funeral or other
Yeah.
things that we learned about the funeral. Yeah, but that kind of stuff I really don't care about, or calling someone old and dusty because they did something wrong or whatever. That part is, but there's some really deep government crap going on.
Yeah,
And I'm not even a conspiracy theorist or any of that, but
I'm
there's
not
something
either,
dark.
but
There's something going
there's
on.
always mechanics. It's A, B, and C, and D equals E.
Well,
that
what
kind of
about the
deal.
drone things and the alien
Oh,
thing that
don't get
just
me
came up?
started on that.
Well, what
Anyway,
I'm saying is that this guys understand. If you don't already know, I'm sure Ted knows what's going on. Is that it is what it is on the whole thing. This is all about, shall I say, going to the things such as the Bible. The Bible was meant to lead people, and that's a whole nother situation. To me, what's going on with the government right now, it's something to make people believe something else. Oh, the kings used the Bibles to control people. The priests used it to control people. I'm a Scientologist, if you guys didn't know.
maybe okay to be called okay stupid. There you go.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I read
okay,
that earlier.
stupid.
Yes. Rob Morrison says, "Happy New Year, George and Heidi coming back February 21st for 3 months. Hope to visit you, Angeles, 2 to 3 days, right from the airport. Right
Definitely
down.
let us know. And I do want to do a shout out to Michael Onstad. I did see where his medical um, group, where he helps do the insurance and helps people get the insurance. Really great guy. The only guy we'd recommend. He's going to be at Phillies, and he invites anybody in the Angel City area or anywhere else. He'll be over there at 2:00. So that is an open invitation. We're trying to clear things out now to go. And that's Saturday. So I have to say it's Saturday here in the Philippines. So 2 more days. Today's Thursday. I almost lost track of days, but
Boom, 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 boom.
and it's okay for you
Michael
guys.
Onstad.
It's okay for you guys to have your opinions. Like, I mean, like when I will mention that and the aliens and things being led, it's just an overall conversation, because I could probably ask the room right now, how many of you actually are, what do they call those, atheists? What do they call people that don't really believe, like, in no man, or is that what they call them?
Atheist, you don't believe in anything. Gnostic, you believe in something.
Okay, so, or they're just people that believe in science. Okay, I went to
Oh, that's
a
still
Baptist
atheist.
church. I mean, I grew up, Baptist, and then into the Methodist church, and right. But at this point in my 40s, I started thinking about how scientific everything was. And, it's just like when you start asking people, a lot of people believe, directly, like, okay, religion was a book that did, and the whole point is you guys, have the right, like this guy and the scamming. I'm sure everybody's forming an opinion, because that was like wide open on what that could have actually, there could have been several things that could have been her really giving up her photo, could have been a husband and brother, could have been where there was nobody at all and just took the photo off of,
I don't
so
think, again, I think they
guess
just
there's no
ripped the
wrong
photo off
answer.
Facebook.
Yeah,
It's
there's
probably
really no
somebody
wrong answers.
the guy knows. To be honest with you, probably like an ex-girlfriend or something like that.
Yeah, could have been George. Could have been me. Oh man, wouldn't that be the ultimate head F? FCKs. That could have been me doing it.
Not really, but
What? Could have been some big white woman actually here in the Philippines
doubt
still
it.
doing it. Could have been a Nigerian, period. So why couldn't it
I'm
have been
shutting
me?
up on that one.
What? Oh, so it's okay for them, but not me.
I didn't say it's okay for them. That's why I'm shutting up.
Oh, okay.
SDFU is always a good thing. Tony Manning says, try to get you to get away from the dating site so they can
Wrangle you in.
correct. Again, one of the first red flags is like, hey, do you have WhatsApp? Hey, do you have Viber? Contact me on this. That's when they
right, because you
first-
have to pay. There's certain levels, don't you? You have to be within a membership to receive certain
Correct.
messages,
If
or only so many
you're
free.
on free trial, you only get the first message free. So that's what they do.
I'm sure you know, sucker.
Yes.
Big difference is I don't care. We're married. That's it. The end. You can dip your wick and throw your wick all over the wall. You did 3 days ago, but still married. Da-da. So I know you know.
There you go.
Go
Someone
put your wick
says,
on the wall.
my family's sick. I'm out of food. I'm behind an electric bill. Everything is being shut off.
Hey,
Please send money.
why don't they just do it honestly like we do and just open the YouTube channel and just ask? Ask for the money.
They
well,
do.
some women do. You're right.
But this girl is a dude.
Speaking of which, I just want to say on the side note.
Dude is a lady.
I just want to say on the side note, Jen left the Gcash off of the farewell video, but she did block any of the comments. So interesting.
Yeah. Well, again, like I said, can't have a YouTube channel if he's a guy pretending to be a girl. He could if he has the finances to pay for the app that changes him into a girl. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, I was just speaking of money.
DD214 says, I've had Southeast Asian women ask for my WhatsApp number immediately on TikTok. I knew instantly what the deal was. Nope. Not gonna happen. There you go. Yes, again, this is a real thing, guys. That is a scam waiting to happen.
Can I run something by you on air?
Yeah.
You don't have to mute it. Do you think I can use the other channel to react to the Filipina Peas videos? Oh boy. What's wrong with that? All right, so I got you.
Yeah, Lou says you don't need a software, just use a random Pinay picture. There you go. And that's what this guy did.
Yeah,
Bob says, really the move, expat.
Right.
Nickelback says, yeah, I have no pity for the fools. There you go.
Yeah.
Slick Rick says, why would anyone send money to someone they've never met in person? You'd be shocked. You will be surprised how many do this. I mean,
a lot. Well, I'm going to give the example. This gives me an option to talk about that. I just talked about that the other day. A lot of people ain't met the P and they drop money to her all the time through stickers just by a comment. I get she does content. I'm sure they appreciate it, but look, all the ones that just flip on the cameras, they're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And I give you the fine example. This girl made $1,000 in her live stream the other day, and their channel is under probably 40,000 subscribers. And I think she only got that because she sits around a bikini part of the time with a husband next to her. The one I talk about is the off the grid one. And so several of them, yes, they just randomly send 100, 200. I don't know how high the stickers. I could have sworn I've seen a 500 sticker, but it could be wrong. I know that they get up there at several $100s. So why do they do that too? So, but why do they actually do it when it's somebody? It's almost pure desperation to get somebody's attention or somebody that's. It's just crazy. What do you think?
simping, as again, it's a different story. And that's
still
exactly
simping in those.
That's why I said this is. Well, that's why I said this exactly. Simping. Lou says this is something to consider too regarding this particular case. This guy's a senior. He is a vulnerable person in society when it comes to technology. An elderly family member of yours can easily be fooled with their debit cards and credit cards. Well, some. but a lot of are prone. Yes, yes. This is a very common thing. Um, I mean, it's like those malware guys. You know what I'm saying? If you guys haven't watched the Beekeeper. I mean, I know it's a fictional film, but the basis of the film is true. What I'm saying is they have these people who scam elderly people of their savings by using a malware that tells you your computer is infected, and then they'll clean it up for you. And while they're doing that, they clean out your bank account. That part is true. And so, yes, I mean, I get it because most older people are not tech savvy. So, yes, so Lou is correct on that one that, some of these elderly people are more prone to it. Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah. Angelo says, let the one, let the one played you, lady voice. There you go. Cindy G says from Dumagetti. Cindy G says, why these men continue making same mistakes after years of it being all over the internet. Maybe they live in caves, right? They live under rocks, apparently, because they have never heard of this.
I've watched, like, one day I sat here, and I watched that Catfish, not the one on MTV, but where the women or men thought, like, some of them thought they were dating celebrities. Like, somebody thought they were dating Andy Gibb forever, that he left his wife based. They used the things that he did on, like, through video and other things to
You
manipulate
mean
this
I
woman.
can date the Bee Gees guy?
And based on that, she sent a crap load of money, and they use the simplest things. I'm like, how could somebody actually fall for something
Why
like
would the
that?
Bee Gees guys ask you for
It's
money?
because it's desperation and loneliness. It doesn't matter, because I've watched some of them lately. They were highly educated doctors, all these other people that would have never been scammed. The one woman lost everything. Her house, she sold everything. She took on loans, emptied her cards for a guy that she thought, that oil rig thing. She goes, I knew of people that happened to, and I knew it, but I still fell into it. It's weird. It's like a magnet. Like, there's some people that just, it's like it's just gonna happen.
Well, it's
I
not
think it's
that
black magic or something.
they're not aware of what's going on in the world. It's
I
this.
think he fell for her.
Well, that's the thing. It's a simple fact
It's like when you're in love, you do
that
anything.
the key thing with scams is the person, the victim, in their belief, no, this would never happen to me, and therefore turn a blind eye. That's why. Yes, Victor, nuclear power, nuclear. That's the one the old
Mhm.
president says. Nuclear power. Correct. Um, Tony Mang says, once you give him money, it's no longer yours. There you go. If you gift it, you give it away. Yeah. Slick says they didn't get the smoke signal. Rob Morrison, right? Right? You would think. Rob Morrison says, aren't you supposed to get wiser as you grow older? Other than dementia issues, no sympathy for the stupid. There you go. Angelo says sending money to is a trap to love. Did that before 2015, but not doing it again. Bad girl, love for money. Not you, cause you're a foreigner. There you go.
Here's something that I just thought about also. He also tried to just take a shortcut to love. He had not met her. It's a shortcut. He didn't get a video of her. Shortcut. Maybe he offered the money up front at some point. I get he said that it was to pay. And so, in saying that, he also thought he was going to get a companion for traveling. And that's why I said all these guys pretend like there's nothing wrong with them. They can just freely travel and this, and that. But once you get to a certain age, it's hard to travel. Not based on, like for me, it's medical issues. Yes, size does not help traveling in Asia. That is for sure. And that's for people half my size. I'm just saying that there are reasons these older men that are in what they claim to be good shape, they still need help. He's not going to want to carry all the bags. Have you guys looked at these Filipina expat or couples like the Americans or whatever foreigners and they're Filipinas. It just seems like they become the worker of everything. I'm going to give you an example of what's been a topic this week. Look at Rose and David. She packs and carries everything
Oh
like
yeah.
she's his mother, like she's carrying a newborn baby, and they do the same for these other older expats. Okay. Now, here's the thing, George helps me too, but you guys got to understand that our dynamic is totally different. I cook, I clean, I help with the channel. You know, we work together. I take care of the animals. I'm out there watering plants. Okay. Something that a lot of American women still aren't doing anymore with all the modern stuff. That's why the guys are coming here. But for that, he was looking for somebody that was, you know, he's older, he's up there. He was looking for somebody as a nurse and just somebody that was, you know, really going to help do things. He was looking for a caregiver. And I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but he took a shortcut. So, yeah. So, you thinking about that, Lugal?
No.
Nope, you don't want to?
No. Texas Philippine says, "Happy New Year, everyone. I heard on another channel that you got pissy with me because you took my personal. I do like this particular content today. Some of those guys lose their damn. Yes, they do because we have no problem with you, Texas.
No, if you're
Yeah.
still in here, I don't even know
Yeah.
what channel you're talking about. As of a few months ago, we really just don't look at anybody unless we were subscribed to their channel, and even then, it's hard to watch the content. So we just don't look for stuff unless somebody sends us something direct and it's one of our regulars or moderators and they feel that it's legally messing with us, then we don't bother with anybody. So, you know, I guess it is all fair game, but no, just any of the vloggers, if you hear something, email us direct and verify it's you and we'll let you guys know. So, but no, there's, yeah, it's content for the others.
Yeah. Angelo says, even they married, they just use you for money. Tony Manning says, I love you as long as you send me the money. Just keep sending. My water buffalo needs an operation. There
George's
you go.
water buffalo needs.
Second one says water buffalo surgery. Now that's funny. Actually, okay, this is a saying. First off, just so you guys know, the most common scams that Filipinos use. My mother, or parentheses, insert family member here. My parentheses, insert family member here is sick and is in the hospital. That's the first thing they'll use. Remember that. The second one they'll use, my brother's jeepney, or insert parentheses, insert vehicle here. So my brother's vehicle is broken and he can't make money unless it's fixed. That's one of the other ones. The water buffalo is a joke. But it is a running joke. Yeah. Oh, my water buffalo. That an expat came up with that, but it is funny though.
Yeah, but you know, they come up with a lot of different things. Any point, and there can be long-term scams. They could be around for 6 months, 7 months, because they're doing multiple people and they're receiving money from other people during that time. So they'll go through that whole stage where they won't ask. I believe that was one of the Raffis we just did, and I told you that it was the long thing because he said that they didn't ask for money for a while. So it does happen.
Yeah. Yeah, when we addressed this earlier, Mark Goldberg says, I give the pleasure of giving, not by affection or anything else. Correct. So remember that. Ed says, we support Heidi's style and George's style. Good stuff. There you go. Second one says, I got an actual nurse. There you go. Yeah. Bonus, as they always say.
And that's okay. What's his name can have his opinion, or the other guy, as far as, yes, I do cut George off, and that is what it is.
Angelo says the man's probably in his 70s getting fooled for younger Filipino played. Yeah, there you go. Simply Social says, don't feel sorry for him. He knows what he was doing, Oh, there you go. Okay, some of you do feel this way, and don't feel sorry for him. He knows what he's doing. taking advantage of a young Filipino girl. What a disgrace.
I think that's
Get
why
a
they're
get a life,
should
Americans.
be
I mean,
age gap.
I don't know how
everything is-
old he is, but my guess he's probably in his late 60s.
She's
Yes.
24, 26. My guess is he's at least 66, and I'm sure
Right.
he's older than that. That's a 40-year difference.
Yeah, regardless of age, it's not right what happened to him.
No, but
Yeah, however, why is he looking at such a young girl? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but why? You know, there's a reason why we stick to people closer to our age or a few years older or younger, but not that drastic. Um oh dang. Simon says it's like going for a pork and paying before you get only. Just get in. Just say, well, okay, see, that's what I'm saying. Okay, pork again. For those who don't know what that is, that means she's a walking girl. Now, at least for 4,000 he would have gotten some, you know what I'm saying? With a walking girl. But again, this is simping. This is a completely different story. There's there's simping, there's pok, and then there's a relationship. So he's off the spectrum. Anyway, Lou says, shaking my head, Filipinos living to the stereotype. Well, a lot of Filipinos aren't like this, just so you guys know. But remember, Lou said stereotype. It's kind of like, when people make stereotypes, it's not really what that entire race is, but it's just what's highlighted. Tony Man says he was paying for Punani up front before getting it. Correct. That's simping. Correct. Simon says, joke. Wonder if Michael Onsad has a prepaid plan like this. There you go. Pay way up front for any service.
yeah.
All right, Michael, that's for you. I don't know if you're still in here, but yeah, right. I'm gonna tell you right now, if that was a real insurance, Michael would be banking. Just saying,
Yeah,
I'd buy that.
right.
McGee says sorry, but 24-year-old girl, but no 24-year-old girl is attracted to 7-year-old men anywhere in any country.
Right. I mean, there are relationships. I do look at each individual and then how they act, and people are like, oh, but these relationships do happen, and it's like it cannot be exactly what's being put out there.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, I get it. At least admit it. But you're not going to get people to be fully. I
no.
don't expect people to tell their entire lives all the time out in the blank. There's difference. Like people will say, "Hey, you and Heidi's not putting full things out there. We're being about as raw as possible. We're not. It's not a given that we have to give every single thing out, but they're showing this as a lifestyle and they're doing it as, so it really should be where you talk about the ups and downs and then people should just use some common sense. That is a big age gap.
Right.
I have to mention, I'm going to throw in Mark again because of the conversation of that. And a lot of guys, the consensus in the comment section is that it was really irresponsible to have a child and leave him behind like that. And all she keeps saying is that she wanted a baby. And it's like, that's not an answer for a child that will not know his father. YouTube videos of his videos giving expat help is not a way to get to know your father.
No, it's not a replacement.
It's very
not a
sad.
replacement. But in his defense, he never really planned to pass.
He
I
had
get
a
it.
quad bypass, and he was
I
mixing
understand,
medicines and going
understand.
off of medicines.
But
It's
the weird thing
and
is he
he
did
had health problems.
right. But here's the thing: he had an epiphany where he did kind of felt like he was gonna pass because he started making that videos about you do this, get your
No, he did.
ducks in a row in order, that kind of deal.
And I understand. I understand why Jen wanted a baby,
But
and I just think it was a really he should have just been firm and told her
Yeah,
no.
and
I'm
he had the baby
sure.
registered and all that. But here's the thing, guys. The scary part is in life, this is true. It's like this. I don't know Mark personally, but again, he
Yeah, we
did.
never
You
said.
can tell he felt something because he started doing these weird videos where he says, "Guys, prepare this, prepare that, that kind of deal."
Yeah, we've
What
seen
I'm
him on
saying
the
is,
occasion.
he did those videos, but here's my theory, and a lot of people will know what I'm talking about. When people feel that way, somehow after that phase, they feel really good all of a sudden, and they feel the greatest and best of their life. And
That
then next thing
always
you know,
happens. Well, that happens. I watch people in the hospital pass away like that. It always
correct.
works.
There's a
They get
situation where
better and they
there's a
start going through
phase
this.
where you're really horrible, and then you get out of that slump, you get out of that rut, and then all of a sudden you feel like great, and then you have that great feeling, and then what I'm saying is just you never know, guys. I mean, because again, I'm pretty sure Mark Thorne felt great in those last couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, and then he never saw it coming. Um, but I did have my rabies shots, and guys always have your rabies shots. That's always a good thing.
Yes.
I got because hold on, we got because as Mark Goldberg says, Heidi, dog bite a lot less than people.
Right. And I guess I like my kids. I'm not, like a real big fan of them or anything. Not a
Yeah.
big fan of George, just the way it is.
I
But
bite.
I like
I
the
do bite.
I
And I
like
have my
the
rabies
dog.
shot.
I think George did that to add on to one more task to see if I tilt over, go off, they would deport me situation. But I do like the pets. We're both pet people. So a lot of people false information always being left in comments, which we leave them. They're like they call me the cat lady and that I'm just a big girl that just sits around and sits with the cats all day, and it's quite the opposite. I asked George, I don't stop all day. I pretty much get going in the morning and have about 100 tasks to do, guys. So I keep busy for multiple reasons, but we both really love the pets. Matter of fact, who brings home the pets? And who the pets love you outside. Like George is like a cat and dog magnet. He's a lady chick magnet too, but the pets find George. Do they not?
Yeah.
That's how we ended up with 12 or 13, and we rehomed him, and we're down to just 3 cats and 1 outdoor dog, 1 indoor. And so, yeah, but no, pets are really nice, and they're a nice replacement for grandkids.
Stanley says I could just by saying my dad doing this, but he has dementia. There you go. Tony Manning says that looks like a man.
You're looking like a man.
He says that looks like a guy. Yeah, he look like a man, as they say. The different picture also, yeah, it's a sign that they scammed you. Correct. Someone says, "Is it wrong to say I will give her a load for her phone?"
Nope, not
Right.
wrong at all.
Here in the Philippines, they will never see that. I'm just saying what you're seeing because remember, it's a vernacular thing. They don't understand what that means. All they understand, like, okay, he's gonna load the phone. Um, McGee says, "Oh, you want to give her a load, but probably not for a Globe account." Correct. Rob Morrison says, "Guy pretending to be a girl hit the jackpot. Has probably been making a living doing it for ages. Probably. Someone says, man, really now blaming others to not feel used." Well, the interesting thing about this one is he still believes, which I strongly believe she doesn't exist. He really believes that she exists, and he really believes that she's being used by her family to do this. I mean, again, without making fun of the guy, bless his heart, that he really thinks this way. But that also tells you a lot about his personality. That means he's an innocent type of guy. The only thing he sees are the good in people. That means he's a good guy. Nickelback says, "Well, attracted to their Social Security. There you go, or dollars, depending on what you mean by that." Stanley says, "Yes, no, yes, no. Come get a Slurpee at my 7-Eleven."
Hey.
Oh, damn! I just got that one. Anyway, um, wow. Ed says, "Always assume in the beginning that the person you are chatting with is a ladyboy or scam." Correct. Always assume that anybody online, if it's a gamer, pretend if it's you see a female gamer, pretend it's a guy. Always assume it's a guy. And usually it's okay. Again, it's okay if you're of, you know, there's nothing wrong with your sexuality. However, be honest about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Own it, as they say. Own it.
Mm-hmm.
Linda
And
Catalano.
here's the thing: there is a big section of. I'm sorry. There's some sections here that don't care.
No,
They
no,
go
no. See, that's the
specifically to
thing.
Thailand. They pretend that they're all lady all the time, and that they wouldn't swing. And then as soon as they get here to Asia, they're all open to try
Yeah, they
everything.
really
That's
don't
fine. So
care. They
there's,
really don't care. Nobody
there's
cares.
no, and you can't force nobody either. So, there's a point where you got to let people be
Right.
at some section. So sorry.
No, you're fine. No, nobody cares really. I mean, I see a
I'm
lot
just
of
reading some of the comments on
working actually,
Raffy.
and the fact that they're working tells you nobody cares.
And the consensus is that they feel that it was just a guy pretending to be a girl on Raffy.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, see, that's the
what I'm
thing.
reading.
That guy is a guy. He's not of a different sexuality. I guarantee you, he's not of a different sexuality. He's
Mhm.
just pretending to be somebody else to scam somebody. Linda Colano says, "Happy New Year, Heidi and George." Happy New Year, Linda. Thank you so much. It says, "Texas Filipino, I love you too." Yeah, he
And
said
we
that
used
so
to,
he can get money. That's why he said that.
yeah, we in the beginning, like before, there was like a point where you could keep your numbers turned off to show how many people you had and stuff. And back then, they used to give numbers freer. Like we could get a couple thousand views in the beginning, and we still talked the same trash back then. But anyways, in saying that, people used to create. Everybody helps.
Tony, you ain't right.
Tony, you
I
just
can't
ain't
put that
right.
up. But that you ain't right.
Anyways, I forgot where I was going on that, but basically, I was going to say that Texas Filipino talking about that uh, people just make stuff up or pretend to be other people. So, and evidently that whoever was saying that was just another vlogger outright saying it, also probably to gain numbers. But yeah, what I was going to say is people used to create accounts and come in our live stream and pretend, and it was evident, yeah, so that who they were trying to. But other vloggers have believed it, so they all they got to do is change one number at the end, and it looks. We've had people say, "Hey, did you come and say this in my room?" And it's like, no, that was not us. So it's crazy.
Well, actually, we've been contacted by email by several vloggers
saying, "Have you done that?" Yeah.
Yeah, and we're like, no, and there's like, funny, I got the same email, so I think there's somebody else. That kind of deal. Anyway, Chippy Wiss says he should have bought her a house. Yeah, do that. Where he could properly distribute his load.
You ain't even right.
I mean, over proper Wi-Fi, of course.
Yeah.
You guys are the best. I swear to goodness sake, you guys are the best. Curtis Doran says there's a sucker born every minute. There you go.
Right.
I'm not familiar with this song. You might be. Second Wind. For some reason I hear the monkey song when
When
I
I
saw.
saw her face,
Oh, that's
I'm a
theirs. Oh, I didn't.
believer,
Okay.
and I couldn't leave her if
Okay.
I
Okay. Okay.
tried.
I didn't
Can I
know
get a
that
little
was.
guitar?
I didn't know that was monkeys. Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
hilarious. Right? He was all in. He saw that face. He was
Well,
all
didn't they
in.
use that in the Shrek movie and the whole 9 yards? Yeah.
Oh, they
And I
do it all
saw
the
her
time. Yeah, all the
face.
Shrek. Yeah.
I used to watch back in the day in the 80s, in my mid-teens, I used to watch the Monkees when they brought that back to MTV. Of course, I wasn't old enough to watch the Monkees when they were just playing, like their show was originally out, but when they did it, I think it was in 85, 86, I think it was 85, 84, 1984. They started playing them all the time on MTV. And I'm like, oh my God, MTV's starting to play television shows because it used to be all music. Now they might
Oh
have
my gosh,
now
I remember
MTV
that.
music
I
all
was
the
like,
time. And
yeah, I
you're
was
like,
like, what is
what
this?
is why are they
It's
playing?
a show.
And then they start sitting down doing the news, and I'm like, you guys lost me.
Oh my god.
Because I was like
And then,
ADHD.
and then they made
stuff.
MTV too.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
And then you were like, and then VH1, and I was like, who are these people?
Oh, I went back to VH1 because MTV started showing
right.
shows.
So that they start
Right.
gaining, and that's where their side gained. So everybody remembered that, and it was like, I was like, because they played the same stuff. They had, it was Cyndi Lauper, Michael Jackson, it was Huey Lewis, it was ZZ Top. It was like the same 30 or 40 videos because back then it was expensive to produce. Now I can make a video in 20 minutes now? And so it's like we get the production back then, but they used to loop them and stuff. And then they started bringing in the other stuff. I said, well, you lost me. I don't mind listening to Cyndi Lauper, 16, 18 times a day because they're trying to fill 24-hour music channel. But when they went to all that extra, but they started playing the Monkees and I was good.
Yeah, but MTV had, like make pee for my bubble. Yeah, make pee for my bubble.
Okay, and then George
And
recognized
they had Jackass.
Beavis and Butthead. And
Jackass.
now you guys know what two different type of people we are. I never watched those shows.
What? Best shows on it. Wait, actually, you're lying. I would
Well,
say you're lying.
so I
Not-
said, what do you think me and the
Nobody
kids
on
said haven't
earth
watched?
didn't watch Beavis and Buttheads and Jackass. Maybe.
My kids
it's a little extreme, but
I let the kids watch The Simpsons and I let them watch Beavis and Butthead. And back then that
I
would have
watched
been
Simpsons here in the
controversial.
Philippines.
I let the kids watch whatever they want. That's what made them tough now. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I let George watch whatever he wants that makes him tough.
Texas Filipino says the guy is still in denial. He thinks she's being forced, right? There is no she.
He just still
He's
has the
lying
hope
to himself. Still,
Mhm,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hoping against hope.
And I tried to look for him because we've already had guests, and my plan is to everyone we cover, I'll try to get a hold of him to see if they want to come talk to people. Unfortunately, with that last name that he had, there were 20 that came up because you were able to put his middle name, and there were 3 that looked like him, but there was little to nothing on their account. So I was going to see if he wanted to give us an update and really see what he thought, or did he learn? And a lot of the guys are willing to come. As a matter of fact, we still have that guy that still wanted to come back through. That Australian guy is still talking to us about his child in Tondo and her getting the fake government papers and Raffy, and it was quite interesting, by the way. So,
yeah.
well, there's been new developments. He's on his way back to come see him, but she took off with the kid. She's not even in that area anymore. So he still hasn't been able to see his son. So I think it's interesting, but it's been a while since we've covered it. So, but always something going on. I'm just waiting for another expat for something to happen. So George said, dang.
Yeah.
The other day I was like, well, it's like they waiting on me. I'm waiting on them. And I'm kind of like, hey guys, today do not go to the grocery store and buy this type of noodles because so-and-so ate them and went, told George, I said, I'm in. So,
Or you can always give the usual excuse. I'm going to buy a pack of
actually,
cigarettes.
it's crab mentality. I'm just waiting for my fellow man to come right up the side of that crab pot, and now I'm going to use both channels and knock him back down. I'm old, I'm cranky, and I'm just going to tell people about it. And George is just going to allow it to happen, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and smile. Show people your New Year's smile. You're the one spending up all the money, giving out food on the street and giving out.
Oh,
all
don't
that
go
stuff,
there.
right?
Don't go there.
I'll make the money. You get to spend it.
Don't broadcast it on YouTube. Locals do sometimes watch, and
Yeah, no, they see George and when he's out and about and he's like, he picked up today he ended up picking up right for the live. I ended up getting my thyroid medicine, and sometimes it's out of stock and all that, and I was thankful for it. And I was like, you didn't buy a bunch of food this morning for people, and thanks for not picking up bread when you came through. Oh, it's because I told you not to pick it up this morning. Sorry, babe. All right. So, but anyways, so
yeah,
and
you
so
guys
right
just
there.
got
Why'd you mute that?
because I said it.
So you muted it so people couldn't hear you say that?
Correct.
The opposite of cracker?
What? I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You just muted
No,
it.
I didn't.
I just wish you'd be about it.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Sarah says no. I have a case on Raffy Tulfo. There you go. Rob Morrison says
you?
he's a ghost. Doesn't exist.
Here's the thing. I think the next person I would like to cover and find out what's really going on besides Gio, I'm going to write that down and reacting to the Filipina P, just what she's doing, her
Oh, the
topic.
pills are long.
Those are the good ones. The other ones you bought before were generic. That's the real Lavoxathyroid. I had been tested years ago. I'd been on it my entire life, and then they took me off. Hence, could be why, besides the steroids causing bloating and my other medical conditions, and me liking sugar, it's not the whole reason. But that doctor said definitely caused issues, and I had not been on it for years, and hair falling out, extensive weight gain. Lupus didn't help with the steroids, but no, that's the good one.
Yeah,
that's the
you
one
can tell
people,
they're legit. I mean,
the other ones, they actually put it at Watson's in a plastic bag, and I was like, oh, those don't even look like the ones I took in the US, but this appears to be, and these are the ones that seem to work. So I've got more energy. My hair is not really falling out. I had to get a haircut. If you guys didn't notice, it's extra kinky and in a different position because my hair has been falling out majorly. So it just majorly dried out. But yeah. So, anyways, on the side note,
Tito George Sarrell says if you get a chance, read in our image by Stanley Carnell.
Gotcha.
America's Empire in the Philippines. Thanks
Which
for
one is
the.
that?
No, actually, I haven't read this. I did write down the name and title. I actually love books. I do read a lot. Most time when a show or movie references a book, I've already read it.
I think they should.
So yeah, thanks for the good read suggestion.
No, they did.
Segment says salty dogs. I own that book. Says
Layered
Texas
out
Filipino.
my hair, but I don't think they took enough bang because I didn't want a whole bunch. But I think it's too long. What do you think?
Texas Filipino is vouching for it. I've owned that book many years. Tito, that's an interesting read. There you go.
Oh, the one that you said?
Tito George Stroud. Yes.
Okay, so
yeah, I
take a
wrote it
look.
down. Tito George Stroud says, yeah, it tells a lot about the Philippines, how the was divided up. Texas Filipino, hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Smells like hot
Oh,
dogs.
babe, we need to catch up. It's
What's that? That was funny, George.
yeah.
Hey, K Dallas. Good morning.
Good morning. No, it's an hour off.
Well, of course.
No, I got that.
We did.
Well,
we showed the video for an hour.
I know. So
we will be
okay. So
an hour behind. Yes.
Okay.
K Dallas, thank you so much. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, K Dallas. We appreciate it. And guys, if you aren't already subscribed, inside of the description is the channel that used to be the pet channel. Now it should read Lazy American Expat. I plan to put probably woman into that, but I think I'm going to leave it at that. To do just more reactions and more expat videos that we used to do when George has been working a lot here lately. So I really it'll actually fill my time. I'll probably do some live streams. We'll still be doing the channel here. I just thought we would combine, like we're getting ready to go to the movies in a few days. We've done it before, but this time I may put it on camera. We, believe it or not, do not show every single thing. We talked about that. Carrying a camera around all the time just became a thing we stopped doing, about a year ago?
Yeah, we
used to carry, we used to bring drones, GoPros, and we did all that major stuff in the beginning. And it's like we spent the days recording, nights editing, and so it's we really like the live
Actually,
streaming.
I never went out without a camera, and the thing is, most of the time the footage doesn't get used, even though you work hard for it and everything,
Yeah.
and it never
Well, you
gets
got to
used.
go
And
through all of it. So,
yes,
the true vloggers that just don't record and upload and don't check what they put on, they know that, doing it on a regular basis can be. And now with him doing things and all of that, it's just, it's like what it is for some vloggers. There's a lot of boredom. And so for me, when I'm done with my day, I'll sit down and just do something for you guys. So check out my Lazy American Expat Philippines. It's part of the Antics, what we call the Antics channels that all fall under the umbrella for George. So come on over and talk, guys.
Scott says hello, everyone. Second one says happy 2025. Yes, thanks so much for being with us, Second Wind.
Yeah, guys.
Happy New
everybody.
Year. Lou says okay. Says do not bank with Southwest Asia Bank. Good to know. Oh, okay. Lou says thank you, George. Raffy Tulfo explain victims. No, they're there to help them. Some they help, some they don't. Some pay to be on the show. So there's three different spectrums, just so you guys know.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, some pay to be on the show. Some they're neutral, meaning they don't do anything. Period. And some they do help. So, but I believe every show is like that. Like whether it's Jerry Springer, Montel or whatever. I think they all go. You're in one of those three spectrums. Rob says in my small town, there's only an agricultural bank, but in nearby city, 5 kilometers away. Yeah, when he says agricultural bank, he's probably saying they don't give you a debit card. You can only pick up your money and withdraw and deposit money in that branch, and that's it. Lou says, do not bank with Banco de Cuya. Leonard Martin says, 228,000 pesos. Is that all? There you go. He got lucky, right? Right.
Now what's going on, man? So that's what.
Hey, Scott and
that's
Isa.
that's
Hello,
what
George
he
and Heidi.
was. That's what's his name's talking about. You called that. Here, mute that. I can't say this out loud.
Anyway, yeah, no, I'm not surprised.
Wow.
This is all a mechanical thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So, well, yeah, I guess you can announce it.
Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not exactly.
Well, I know why, but
Oh, it's just telling me what to
yeah.
do. All right. So they're saying that literally in front of Trump Towers, that cyber truck, they're calling it a second act of the T word. George called that this morning. Look for the next one. So he already said it. Here it is. That's what's his name.
It's all mechanical. It's all predictable.
George is really good at that. I mean, I'm telling you.
The government.
He can predict when I'm about ready to get cranky in 4
All
days.
governments have a certain way of doing things. This is one of them. So
wow.
Anyway,
not good, guys. Sorry about your luck, boo-boos there in America. I would suggest that you would get the next flight. That's how come the flights are so expensive right now. It's all based on what's going on over there. I'm just joking, but anyways, yeah, no, you called that, and so expect 1 or 2 more issues. And then they've already made their big.
Well, actually, this is probably enough. My other guess was it was only probably 2 is enough. Being that's that major, that's probably it.
So in other words, being it's in front of Trump Towers,
that was it.
That was
the last straw.
That was the last straw. Now it gives permission.
The Anti-Terrorism Act. Boom, the end.
There it is. So you just said it out loud.
This is all. Anyway, Scott in the world.
Yeah.
And as I see it, it's now Scott and Isa's world. Hello, George and again, congratulations.
Congratulations.
I watched that birthday party through and through. Also, you're live in Hong Kong through and through.
I'm
Great.
going to ask George something real quick. I can't say it out loud. No,
Yeah.
it's just talking about when Scott comes and our visit and everything, what we were going to do. Maybe we can hit the movies again. Or maybe you went last time with them. I want to
well,
go this time.
again, I watched a lot of those lives through and through, except for the girls one. I felt kind of guilty, but anyway, for other reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got had an old girl live stream going on. Ed says maybe we could have a code. There you go. Leonard Martin says until I met my wife, had 4 other Filipinas, and yes, it was all about money. Would have cost me less to just buy a prostitute. Correct. There you go.
Hey, chosen ones in the house. We all been scammed by a Filipina. Build a bridge and get over. I'm surprised they even. I mean, I get it. It was for sure about content because it happens to a lot of them, and it was just hard to watch, man. Good morning, Ruby.
Ed says civilization is a belief. There are people that live in isolated, never wanting to be part of society ever. Well, okay. I'm not disagreeing with you, Ed, because I get exactly what you're saying. Civilization or cities live on a particular belief. We don't know it. It's an ecosystem. However, be aware that even if you're
Makes sense.
what do you call that? A survivalist or everything, you still live in an ecosystem, and you still live on some form of civilization. Not because again, it's keyword of civilization is civil, meaning you have to be civil with other people too, or animals.
I don't live in civilization.
Yeah, no. There's again.
What do they call it for me? Oh,
Free for all. That's one of those free for all.
Oh, believe me, it's not a free for all. I talked about everybody should be living under one type of driver's license and passports and all that, and the government should mind their own business in all countries. Yeah, I guess that is a free for all. Free the caveman. Get a shirt. Free the caveman, man. Live like a caveman.
Free hashtag free Diddy. Anyway,
Free Diddy.
No, or hashtag free Jay Z. Someone chosen one. That's what he said. Free Jay Z.
Oh boy.
Rob Morrison says he's talking about being agnostic is the term.
Yeah, I mean, George knows I still have a level, and I joke about the Scientology, but in our deep conversation, science, and like when I start watching The King, like all the stuff about royalty and how the kings controlled the books, and these are only things I've really, really paid attention to in the last 10 years or so. Before that, I was too busy with something else, and it's just something I didn't educate myself or watch. The internet shows so much more now, and it's really interesting to see how religion has played such a strong role in the world, but yet, I don't know. I just believe a lot of this stuff is scientifically explained down to alien situations. And it's just like, you know what? I believe in me. I believe in George. That's it. That's pretty much, and that I walk on flat earth. That's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Well, the only thing that there's proof there's aliens is because of Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. I mean, there's no human explanation how these people exist. Just saying.
What people? Oh, you talking about them too?
Yeah, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, watch these people. They're like aliens. They look and behave like aliens.
Really? I never thought about that theory. Are you serious?
I hate to say this, but now that I said that, you'll be like, oh my God, he's right.
What about that basketball player, the one that's got them weird eyes or does
No,
that?
really, watch Mark Zuckerberg. He looks like a robot.
Right.
And
Well, I think
acts
the
like a robot.
president, I think, what's his name, is something.
At least Elon Musk is humanish, but Mark Zuckerberg, oh my gosh. Anyway,
Yeah, but what about that basketball player, the one that we said was the lizard guy? That's alien. What do they call that? No, if you look at that guy, there's some freaky footage of him. when he's playing basketball and he
get it.
does all that weird stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
But I just believe.
Okay.
But if you had to put aliens,
If you want to talk about lizard men, lizard men are
and
not
science.
aliens.
If you had to put the aliens,
Anybody who knows what I'm talking about, we're like, yeah, he's right. But anyway,
here's the thing: I put George up here, and then I think about God, but then I put the aliens and science in there somewhere, and somehow God got stuck in that egg sandwich.
This really have nothing to do with chat.
No.
There's aliens and lizard men, and they're separated. The alien theory is, well, duh. You guys already know that. Lizard men, you're like, what do you mean lizard men are aliens?
Oh boy, yeah.
The theory of lizard men is the lizards were here before humans. Remember that. Dinosaurs were lizards. They evolved from the dinosaurs, and they've been with us all along. They're not aliens. They live on Earth as we do. That's the theory. So,
right.
So technically, when they're lizard men, if they are, which of course I doubt it, but
so they're saying certain athletes have extra
stuff. I get it, but
of it.
Technically, you can't call them aliens because they're lizard men because they're in here with us. That's the theory of lizard.
How come my family got gypped out of everything? Royalty, extra money, inheritance, being one of those lizard people, any sort of talent, any of that. I just totally shame my entire family. But how come we ended up looking like big hamburgers?
I have an explanation, but I don't want to say it.
Right? We just ended up being workhorses, right? So basically, it was like we were meant to bear kids and work on farms situation, and that was pretty much it.
Well, big hips.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, not till a certain age, but yes, I mean.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
Even at 14
a lot
and
of guys look for big hips, just saying.
So, no, I would probably represent like what a woman would be looked for back in those days. Just don't fit in.
Yeah, they're called childbearing hips. Start typing. Hello, Heidi and George. Lou says,
I didn't.
This is messed up, Lou.
Hi, sir.
It's like the factory settings of a Filipina of being a scammer. Dang, that's a fierce burn right there.
Right. Did you get your big 2.4 on what? I don't know what that means.
SSDI.
Did I mention something?
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I don't know what 2.4
That's
is.
what I mean.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know nothing about it. So I mean, I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah. See the difference between a know-it-all and us. If I don't know something, I blank.
Or should have been more specific.
I'll flat out tell you, I don't know.
And it could be them trying to burn us, which guys,
well, they could be. They could
be. You guys have no idea. Just because we read your comment doesn't mean that it's. But more that may not be a burn, but I don't know. It's a strange statement to just mention. Did I talk about Social Security today?
No.
So okay, so that's
Texas Filipino says, okay, now remember, the thing is...
And I got my Social Security before I got this size.
The thing is, it depends on the bank. BDO is a real bank. And what I mean by that, again, it's a legit bank. You get your debit card the same day, whatever.
Right.
But remember, the managers of the bank have to both agree. And Texas Filipino says, in 2006, I would pick up wire transfers at BDO branch. One day they asked me, why don't I open a bank account with them? I told them I don't meet the requirements. They said, we know who we are, no problem. They opened me a BDO account, and I have it ever since. Now, that being said, keep in mind that may not apply to you, or it may apply to you. Depends on the bank managers. So it doesn't mean that you go to any BDO account that'll happen to you. So what I'm saying is, Texas Filipino success may not be your success, and that applies with opening a bank account.
Oh yeah, the fact that they just did it based on, but also he could have been picking up wire transfers all the time too, and doing
no. I know that, but even if he was,
it's not
still not a guarantee he could get one. But yeah, he's the exception because again, it takes two bank managers.
The Social Security will definitely.
I had a hard time only because YouTubers are new, and I can tell the other bank managers were like, YouTuber,
Right, but they just don't give banks to, like I said, even don't other
Well, what I'm
Filipinos
saying
have to
is
provide
correct.
IDs and
Correct.
have
To a
jobs and
Filipino, much less an
right.
expat.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
No, I guess there are some exceptions.
No, there's
to
always
this.
exceptions.
Yeah.
There's always exceptions.
Yep.
I've always said that. Remember, what one person gets through here in the Philippines doesn't mean you will get through.
Definitely happens more so here
Or
than the
if
U.S.
one gets blocked, does that mean you'll get blocked? But
yeah, always try it. So
yeah, kind of like the license, driver's license, that kind of deal.
yeah.
Ed says, "Send me money." There are several songs written asking. There you go. Eric says, "Simps desperate." Tony Manning says, "Simping ain't easy." Eric says, "Simple lives matter." There you go. Hashtag Voodoo Like says, they need a real beekeeper to get rid of these real scammers, right? They need a real beekeeper, seriously. For real. That's what we need. Ed says, a vlogger saying anything is fair game for reaction video. There you go.
Yep, pretty much. Well, okay. I have to make a statement on that real quick because not everything. So just because you see one person do something on YouTube does not make it legal. And it doesn't make
Actually,
it
most of it is not legal.
right. I mean, and here's the other thing. You also have to know the game. So in a quick note for those that are doing it, most don't mind you use their footage, but there are some that will go after you and they won't even hesitate legally or otherwise, even small channels. So you technically don't have the right to use our stuff. And even us doing the Raffy Tulfo and taking the clip out of it, we are reacting on it. It is legal, but anybody can stop that. And then you have to fight them for court action. So the statement here, I just don't want random people to go take other people's footage and use it for content and then not get in trouble. You have to make that decision.
Don't.
The rule of thumb is for the basic bloggers is you don't take somebody to court and you just let them use it. It's a courtesy that even if you know it's your content, to let it be done as long as you're not defamating so bad that it's
Yeah, most of the time when me and Heidi watch videos of actual popular people, we wonder, like, how did he get away with that?
it's because
Most of it is not legal on YouTube.
that it's just you actually usually let it go, but in a bad form that we've seen people, and I know you're going to cringe on this, where they've made up lies about George that wasn't true based on very small information they found, then that stuff we're going to ask to have taken down. You can do everything else and talk about my size or things you know that's a fact. That's not going to bother us. Even talk some side smack, but in a case for other people, they may not tolerate you to use any at all. So whether it's the truth or not, it is their legal right. Even if you're doing what's right by Google and YouTube rules, they're going to tell you to fight it out in court. And you don't want to spend years in court. So it's best to either take it down or go through and deal with them. So I think, but anyways, I wouldn't advise on that stuff. So
yeah, shuggles everything, including TV sync. Happy New Year to the
and you have to
the
know,
western side of the hemisphere.
You have to actually know the rules too. So I must say that Rafi wants all the advertisement. Like we don't mind all the advertisement either. So even if somebody's saying negative things we know aren't true, and we usually don't even see it anyways, then it's not a big deal. Rafi, it's advertisement for him. We've done Rafi. He evidently doesn't have the problem with it. You'll learn where the right side is and what you can actually use. Just because they say you're allowed to, you still could be dealing with issues. There are big channels that have hit each other and been fighting it out in court since. So if you're doing YouTube, just caution. Just a little hint, means there's 1,000,001 of them out there.
Okay, so T-Bone. Okay, this is a good point. Now, I didn't see it this way, but some of you will and some of you will disagree. It's grooming. Okay. Now, okay, you guys can hate on me right now, but I agree with T-Bone because why is it grooming? First off, grooming doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting somebody underage. No,
No,
grooming
you
means
can
you're
do that.
training somebody, and
Yeah, giving little gifts and all these sweet things to get them. Yeah.
well, he knows that he can control her eventually. Well, except that it's not a her. But anyway, point being is even us guys when we were younger, or well, younger, not young. Like, why are you dating a young girl? Because guys talk, and every guy in this room, I'm sure, has had this talk. Why are you dating a young girl?
Mhm.
Oh, because I can control her and I can train her. Fact. This is a fact. That is grooming. It
Yes.
doesn't have anything to do with the girl's age. Nothing to do with the girl's age. Or guy. Again, does not restricted to, guy, girl, 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 guy, girl. No. It's not restricted. If you're dating somebody younger, if you're controlling them, then you're grooming them. It
Mhm.
has nothing to do with the age. So yes, I agree with T-Bone. Is it grooming? Possibly. Possibly. Um Ed says off grid, almost his house, his White House, his whole house, walls, concrete, electrical, built for free nearly. Oh, okay. So it's not an earth ship because it's made out of concrete.
I dropped the other link to the channel, and there are other people on the other channel watching right now. So hello to everybody that's watching the Lazy American Expat channel. So,
hey, Bruce. How you doing, Bruce? Bruce, member for
and
10 months. Happy New Year, and everyone,
thank you,
God bless.
Bruce.
Happy New
Thank
Year,
you.
Bruce.
Some of you already subscribed because it was the pet channel, but we're just going to keep the pets on here anyways. So it's yeah, so it's just where we're building. So some of you may already, but if you're not, subscribe. I appreciate it.
Eric says, I love
Better than me nagging George all day.
I love
right?
him watching.
Say, George, are you going to keep gaming and doing your gaming channel all day? Hey, George. Hey, George. Hey, George. And he's like, go do something. Okay.
Right.
Then I'm done.
Ed says everybody
Done.
needs a special elder folks. YouTube search scammers, then spend some hours watching them teach you a guy how to spot a possible scammer. There are hundreds of different scams. Yes.
And there's only so much cooking, cleaning, playing with the animals, playing with George, diddling George, whatever, that you can actually do. I do now understand why the guys tend to do the channels. It's sometimes, like they said, it's not about the money. It's just it's just the side hobby. So,
Okay. Michael also brings a good point on this one. Michael Miraday says, I don't see anything wrong if you have your eyes open. About things older guy with a massive pension. You can, above it all, young
maybe
girl,
stay above it all.
yeah, wants to play older guy, have to have money, period. Now, the point being is, here's the thing. I'm sure this guy has friends or family that says, why are you sending money to this girl?
They usually don't say. I watch those. I got into watching, like, once you watch some of the shows on YouTube, they'll keep feeding them to you. They say that they definitely never tell somebody. It's embarrassing. They usually never tell another friend, or
While they're
it's like
sending money?
yeah, it's shameful. They don't even say nothing.
Well, then there knows there's something wrong.
They do. And that's the funny thing. They get that shameful feeling deep inside and they know it's wrong.
Which even brings back to the point I was trying to make and Michael was trying to make. My mom always told me, I didn't understand this when I was a kid, but my mom always told me when I was a kid, son, the hardest people to wake up are the ones that are awake.
Yeah, I remember when you said that. That's one of the best sayings I've heard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Can't wake up somebody who's awake. And like you said, if they're not telling family, then that tells you they know they're doing something wrong. Not wrong, but there's something off about it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, good point. Good point, Michael. Good point.
Oh, 1 second here. I need to tell you something.
David always says I told my partner to chase it up and use for allowance. CBGB, Filipinos have to eat too. You're a trip. Chosen One says, "What
My
happened?
lips
I'll
are so
rewatch it.
dry.
Thighs an hour behind. Oh, right. So I missed the first hour. Body needs right. I know. Because you're on a different timeline, right? Unlike if you're in China, you're the same timeline anywhere in China. It doesn't make sense. But anyway,
Is there even any good movies out right now? Like that'd be worth me not being lazy and going to go see. That's weird because I'm putting my chapstick on and my lips were a little dry, believe it or not. And
no, Michael,
keep getting
they didn't mention his
skin.
age or her age. So
They did her. She's
They did?
26.
oh, she's 26, but they never mentioned her. his
that
age.
that guy's got to be over 66. There's no way, but he could be like Gusty, man. Could be 26 too. I don't know.
I don't know.
They definitely mentioned how old she was. Said she
I
was
think
26.
Jesus was his
24,
best friend.
26.
Just
It's,
saying.
my point is there's at least a 40-year age gap on that.
Well, again, and age gap is relative. There's
Some-
nothing wrong with an age gap if
Some-
it's a
some-
real relationship, but obviously in this one it's not.
I read through a comment yesterday where they said that I said babe way too much, and that's a bite me on that one. But they said that I was dating a really young guy and that I was taking advantage of you. I was like, oh, okay. Yes, that's what I'm doing. So I'm taking advantage of you, young man.
Well, technically I am younger than you.
Yeah, there is an age gap. We'll talk about that on another day. The
Ed
real age
says,
gap.
new generation of girls say my water buffalo has a monthly vet med bill. We take PayPal. There it is. Sexist. Dude, looks like a lady.
They used to play a
Right,
lot of
there you go.
Aerosmith on MTV. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude like a lady. Yep.
Stevie G says Mark was a brilliant financial pioneer. Stevie G says Mark sold me 4 velvet paintings.
Yeah, what's the deal, man?
Grandpa Mike, Happy New Year. My wife calling me a chick magnet is my goal for 2025. You the man, George.
And I've heard a lot of comments about Mark, and I do want to let you guys know that there's been a lot of good things said about Mark. I get it, and they talk about what a good guy and dad, and they've gotten to know him. There are people that have known Mark over the years. He has shown his own stuff on air and talked about it, and there's been a lot of things that are in public view that everybody knows about that they don't. You're never going to convince anybody that somebody's good or bad. You have to make that decision on your own, whether you like them or not. That wasn't our idea, was to influence people to hate, like, or anything. It was about the stuff that he's done, and it was covering a topic of health and all that. And that's what a lot of people, if you're mature enough and understand our channel, that's what we're doing. Do we talk smack on the side about it or make jokes and fun? Sure, we do. This is what we do. But in general, a lot of people like Mark. There was never no doubt. I know I said that he had, very little people that came to see him. It looked to be about 12 people showed up at his funeral. She showed his funeral. They were all standing there. Most of them were Filipino. So with all those friends, just like I said, I don't know why they didn't show up. But I wanted to say that a lot of the comments that came through, a lot of them would say things like, you guys talked about this, and that about him, and it was all negative, light, and this, and that. It's, I would disagree.
In all fairness, his 88,000
Everybody can make their own
friends
decision.
are over the pond.
The 88,000 people or they signed up either, they already used them to come here. They haven't talked to him since.
What I'm
It's a
saying
miss.
is they're not here.
Well, and everybody can make their decisions on that. And I was going to lead it back to this guy when I initially started talking about, but I was thinking about the comments and how many people, even we get daily comments in regards to those videos. And it's like nobody was trying to convince him to like him or not like him. Although when they would say things like, none of that stuff out there was true. Yeah, we can say things about us like that, but what's obviously out there is obvious, that's been seen or whatever. But it's in the end, he was a father and he was, a husband and still a human being. And then somebody's like, well, what does you being an American got anything to do with why you have the right to talk? has nothing to do except for he's a fellow American, okay? And who else is really understanding a true American than me? I'm sure the man was cranky all the time, entitled, like all these other things that we go through, and some of the aspects of but in the end, everybody had their right to say their piece on that. So, rip. I just want to say that
No,
one more
I
time.
got you.
Go ahead, George. You
Yeah.
do that so well when you say that.
Rip,
One more time. Into the marshmallow, closer.
rip.
Okay.
Now, Joyce, I'm not gonna repeat what you just said, but there's obviously you're into that kind of lingo, and I don't have a problem with that. It's just not really our channel, but
It is when the cameras are off, but in general,
well,
is
that's
he
what I'm
saying
saying.
here or there?
No, that's there.
Oh, there's
but
a book.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Again, and it's worse than people
Oh,
realize.
in the U.S.,
But I can't
yeah.
say anything really.
And the inside, yeah.
So Chosen One
Being
says,
the on channel will probably stay monetized. I might be able to, but they still could hit the channel. But that is the real deal, and people don't realize. I think the Philippines, and people are like, oh, it's not true. I still think that the Philippines is child play compared to what's going on in the U.S. as
Well,
far as
there's mechanics here at play too, and again,
Yeah,
usually
but
I can see them coming too, but
well, there is. But what I'm saying is things such as what's going on with all these foreigners crossing in, and the things that the gang members are doing that's been going on. There's more takings of people, more trafficking of people, way darker than it is here. I still think there's still some innocence, even
no.
among the worst people. And
Yes, correct.
in
It's child's
Mindanao,
play
they're
compared
talking about,
to
oh, well,
what's
you
going on in
haven't
the
seen
US.
those guys down there and the way they act, and you should be scared. And it's like, no, not really, not compared to what
Yeah.
I've seen in the U.S. and living in Mexico. Sorry, you put those guys up to the guys here, and they're going to eat the guys over in Mexico and the U.S. will eat these guys up like they're eating cherry off of a cake, and won't even think about it. So it's I know it exists, and I was blind to a lot of that stuff even up to my early 40s. Is just, I used to just keep my nose to the grindstone, and now you can't stop this train. Now my eyes are wide shut, wide
Now,
open.
this is really good advice. Chosen One
Chosen
says, we've all been scammed by a Filipino. Build a bridge and get over it.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And among other things, and you guys will, like, when I got here, there was one issue after the other, and yeah, you'll build a bridge, and the same with that. So that's for sure. But beware. Chosen One, what happened to you? Who hurt you, little buddy?
A lot.
What about you? Who hurt you, little buddy?
A lot.
Oh, that was me this morning.
Well,
Hey, LG, what is going on?
actually, one of my, oh my gosh, I can't believe I used this line. One of the lines I used, and it worked. Why don't you follow me? Hurt you in a real nice way. Anyway,
Oh, I think what's his name addressed that, but he's just asking, is it true the divorce is out of the U.S. recognized in the Philippines with the party? As far as I'm to understand, with them, and this is my understanding, and I looked into this inside and out. Doesn't matter where they were married, the foreigner can divorce, but he has to file that in the U.S. Foreigners can set the divorces and divorce. So if they married in the U.S., he will still settle that and file for divorce in the U.S. And the same with if they married inside of the Philippines, he can still go back to the U.S. and file the divorce. The same as I looked more and more into it after, not the Johnsons. What's the other crew? There's been so many of them here breaking up here lately. That other couple over
Armstrong?
there it is. The Armstrongs.
Yeah, but they're not divorced.
Okay, well, yeah, they said that it was going through and everything. But so when that happens and that's filed on the foreigner's behalf, when it's finalized and there's a set of documents, it then is given to the Filipina, and then she has to file it here to recognize for the divorce to be terminated. And that it still has to, I think, get an approval from the Philippines, correct? Don't they have to do the full?
That's the part when expats argue with us.
Yeah, you still have to file it here in the
Yeah,
end. They
no,
just you
see,
just don't,
that's the
unless
thing.
something's changed. Now remember, it's not all golden, and so it said here that it has to be filed to be recognized to terminate. So
Now, are you
it's a
divorced in the
Filipino.
U.S.? Yes, you are. Of course you are. But
And
here, you're still married.
but here's the only thing I don't know. Can Gio at that point with the divorce there, but still showing he's married in the Philippines,
Yeah,
get
but he
remarried to a
married here,
Filipino?
though.
Right. So what I'm saying is he still has to file along with her to be recognized for it all
He's
to be
doing it.
gone.
Okay, I don't know what's going on as far as the divorce is concerned. What I'm saying is, if he is filing divorce in the U.S., Gio definitely knows.
No, he can't file it here.
What I'm saying is, he definitely knows that it still needs to be filed in one form, shape, or manner here.
Right. If he's going to stay in the U.S., that just means Maya would need it in order for herself to move on. There is no Filipino and Filipino divorce. Filipinos and Filipinos can't divorce. That law is not through or anything.
Yeah.
But if she's wanting to move on, she definitely will. If he's still here and wants to move on, he's going to have to. Both of them are going to have to file something
Right.
to show
If
it.
he stays here and wants to be married again, then
You need to wipe that off the
that
court.
paperwork needs to be finished completely in the Philippines.
It's the only divorce that's allowed, which, in my opinion, is a
And
bunch
it's
of
not-
bullcocky. I think everybody. I don't think the foreigners should get off the chain that early or that easy. Think about it. And you guys can be mad all you want. It should be allowed that any of the divorces are allowed right now.
Yeah,
I don't feel
don't get mad at
divorce.
us. We're not the ones telling you have to. We're just saying that's
Well,
how it
I
is.
just don't. I mean, if
the ones that say, "Oh, you don't have to." Well, guess what? When you get remarried, that's when you'll have a problem.
all right, let's assume that I'm Filipino.
Okay.
And then we were thinking about divorce, and are like, no, you can't do it. But then you think about the foreigners that can divorce a Filipino. That wouldn't upset you right now, in any manner that they're allowing the foreigners, and then coming back and remarrying another Filipina freely. They're just
I'll
moving
just
on
turn
next
Muslim.
time. George is going.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
the
it's
reason
not
why I
really.
mentioned that is because when you're Muslim, you can divorce. Period.
Yeah, well,
I'm not making that up either, by the way.
yeah, but if you're legally, you got my point. I get what you're saying. It's just not fair to the Filipinas that the foreigners get to move on that
Well,
quickly.
it's not fair, period, because there's no blanket rule.
Right. But yeah, only after the Armstrong or the Petersons that, did I think and really get into that. We knew there was something like that. And then we were like, oh, well, didn't they marry online? And did they ever accept their marriage? It was like, it doesn't matter. In the end, they legally had a marriage in the Philippines, or whether it was in the US, he's still got to file back there just to get rid of it. He's not filing it here. Foreigners don't file it here. So there's just none. So now, could you possibly hire an attorney on this side that works with another attorney back in the US and get it done? Yeah, that's a possibility. That's the only way I could see. But it's got to go through the courts in the US. They'll recognize it.
Right.
Yep.
David Anderson says, so another dumb guy thinking hit with his little noodle. Oh, dang.
Little noodle.
He calls it little noodle. Don't feel sorry for him. Good for the girl, right? If the divorce was filed and completed in the U.S., Chosen One says Gio's divorce is probably already completed. He's the needy type. Oh, dang. He's the needy type.
Speaking
he will
of
remarry
dang,
for a fifth time.
CBGB thinking he's sitting up in other little troll rooms. Somebody went and made to me a weird statement that I reminded them of Mother Teresa, and then CBGB said, "Oh yeah, 5 Mother Teresas." I was like, dude, okay, I guess immature and probably the same guy that's just as big, if not bigger than me. That who knows? I just picture these same guys that don't show themselves, but in the wrong room, dude.
It says, yep, for 3 to 5 years, it was 100% music, MTV music only. There you go. Hey, Ruby, how you doing? Good day. How you George?
I mean, that's not even close to accuracy, even if they weighed 100 pounds. So that's all you guys usually have, too. I was thinking about that yesterday, and it's like, that's all you guys can come up with on the side.
So Texas Filipino says, on the divorce, the foreigner, not the Filipina, must file a foreign divorce for it to be recognized in the Philippines.
Correct. They have to go back to
the
their country.
Filipino must file a waiver to recognize a foreign
Correct.
divorce. That's the one we're saying that they need to file.
But also, if Gio wants to, he's going to have to also take that paperwork here.
The cost of the waiver can be up to $2,000 or $3,000. That's the paperwork we're telling you that needs to be filed to finish it
or
off.
maybe if Gio remarries, maybe he doesn't need to file
Thank
that.
you,
Maybe
Texas.
he
Appreciate you so much.
Well, that's what we said.
No, I know. I'm just saying he's verified.
Oh yeah. And maybe he doesn't. That I can't tell you. So if Gio goes to get remarried again, he may only have to show his divorce papers. But the Philippines is going to be like, hey, you're married here. I cannot tell you unless somebody actually knows. So I don't know if he just shows his foreign divorce papers, or once she files, that puts it in the court. We're not attorneys, guys. So I don't know if that puts it in there altogether, or if he has to file too. That may not,
Yeah.
But
yeah, Lou says, Mark Zuckerberg once said, "When I was human." Look it up. No. Again, this guy is weird, guys. I'm not. It's
That's
not
true.
a joke when I said this guy's an alien. If there's an alien on Earth, it would be him.
the one reason I became agnostic, like Heidi, I believe in the science. So
What are the names of the disciples in the Bible? Any of those names common in that for that region? Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Yeah, no. They are most of them. Yeah.
Like
That's
Heidi,
one reason why I became agnostic. Like Heidi. Well, again, there's nothing wrong with your religion, whatever it may be, whether it's Catholic,
which
Scientology,
that
even if
also
it's
makes
satanic.
sense. Them
It
are
really.
in the Middle East. That wouldn't have been names back then. They are odd names. But
Well, they're not. I mean, there's no mark. It's the Arabic version or Aramaic version, rather.
so you're saying like over time they adjusted the names?
Yeah, I mean it's Aramaic, and the language is dead. I mean, even people, even they can't say those names.
And I still think it's like the government rules that are really nonsense that still lead people around.
Okay, well,
There you go. Go ahead. Go ahead and put it up.
no,
Bruce said you should ask before using someone else's content, and when you use it, give credit to the channel when you're doing so. Yes, that is true. So right now inside, ours says credit to the Raffy Tulfo show. But most don't play by those rules. Not even close. Not even the big channels. Like that one guy that we watched, the one that I forgot what his name is already. But he does nothing but cover other stories going on, or mostly other vlogs that are going on. And he takes clips, and I never see him give credit. But he's got millions of subscribers, and I think YouTube lets him get away with that. And for the most part, whoever owns those clips either don't know they're being used or being talked about. And there is probably, I doubt he's taking advanced time to contact him and say, hey, I'm going to use your clip. But there's a chance that he might be. And that's what you're supposed to do when you're doing it the right way. But, yes, you should.
Lena Pina says, wanted to wish you both a happy new year. Happy New Year, Lena.
Hi, Lena. Happy New Year.
Barnes
How
says,
are things going?
Yeah. Katie Barnes says Gio might be balding. He shaves his
Should
head.
be freezing right now. I believe it was Tennessee, right? She moved away to. Remember, they traveled and went and moved, and I believe it's Tennessee.
Ruby says that was in 2018, so it can be done. Submit documents to Philippine Embassy. Correct. Again, keyword the divorce thing. Again, Filipina should still be served with divorce papers and signed. Correct.
Yes.
It's not just
she still has to do it.
A lot of expats again argue with us because again they think that we make the rules or something.
Right, but back then it was a lot easier to divorce.
Yeah. But
so
even then, you still have to finish it off here.
Yeah.
Because for the Philippines too, it's kind of like this. Here's the logic, guys. I don't care what any expat tells you. Here's the logic. If you divorce in the U.S., it's not automatic the U.S. It's like, hey, Philippine embassy, hey, Philippine government, this guy and such divorced. No, they don't do that. It has to be reported in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And that's what we're saying. It needs to be filed. It needs to be finished off. And that's why Texas Filipino said it costs $2,000 to $3,000 to file that paperwork. Again, we don't write the rules, we don't make the rules, we just tell you the rules. Take it or leave it. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up, and we appreciate you guys joining us on the channel.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Thank you for your input, whether it's out of planet or anything like that. Like Mark Zuckerberg, Beamer says, Happy New Year, both. Thank you so much again for you guys. Thank you, FX Stranger. Happy New Year. Appreciate you. Texas Filipino again was with us today. Again, thank you for your support, Texas Filipino, and thank you for your input. We really appreciate you. And no, there was never any beef with you. K Dallas. Hey, K Dallas. Thank you again, man. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. And Happy New Year to you, Bruce Davis. Thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. Ted was with us today. Thank you, Ted.
Consider membership.
Yes.
We did add the other level. There's currently, I believe, hundreds of videos even on there that we've moved from Mexico and different things in there. So check out membership. I know we got the one, got different levels.
Correct.
So check out membership.
For your membership, you feed us donuts. All right. Thank you so much,
Feed
guys.
other people
Thank
donuts.
you so much, Scott in the world, as I see
Ooh,
it, or
I get
Scott
more
in
pet
Isa's
clothes.
world now. And again, congratulations,
Congratulations.
Scott. Many
And
blessings
if
to
you're
you.
still here, Sarah.
Yep. Sarah Tyson, thank you so much.
Happy New
Appreciate
Year's.
you. Of course. Oh, here we are, guys. Again, thank you for saying goodbye to us. Angela waves goodbye. Bruce Davis, thank you. George and Heidi, everyone, good night. Slick Rick, see you later. Harry Walsh, good night all. Rob Morrison, thank you and goodbye. Lena Pina,
You too,
bye
Ruby.
to you.
She's freezing.
Yeah, that's what Heidi said. Ruby, stay safe, everyone.
I would freeze.
Sarah Tyson, night.
Good night, Sarah.
Oh yeah.
True is in the house.
Hey,
did
True.
the interview on.
How
with
you guys?
True.
How
Hi,
you
ladies.
girls doing? Yeah. Hey, lady.
Hey,
Hello,
ladies.
ladies.
Good to see you again.
Stay
We may have
safe
to do
and
an
enjoy the
update.
rest of your day. Happy New Year, True.
True, get a hold of me. I could probably do an interview of you guys and use it for the second channel. So that's
Linda Catalano. Happy New Year, T-Bone. Happy New Year, great show.
Happy New Year.
True.
I do like the HNY. Happy
Always
New
watching
Year.
you
I like the
guys.
abbreviation.
Thanks so much, girls. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you guys. I got to
Thank you,
feed
guys.
George and take care of him. It's time to groom you, babe. We didn't
Right.
even bring the pets in. Where'd she go? Is she even by you, or she's probably
Have a
hiding
great
in the
day,
curtain.
everyone.
Thank you, Ted. Guys, take
Thanks,
care.
Ted.